beautiful day, the sun beat down, I had the radio on, I was driving, trees flew by, me and Del were singing, a little runaway, yeah, I was fly, yeah, running down a dream, that never would come to me, working on a mystery, going wherever it leads, running down a dream. Yeah, running down a dream that never would come to me, running down a dream. Oh yeah, running down a dream.
There's just something about Charlotte Motor Speedway with the 2023 NASCAR Next Gen Stock Cars rolling into the night. Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Jonathan Ramos and this is Jarrett Lundberg. Welcome to One Hot Night, race 5 on the NR Cup Series schedule, where we're going to see wheel-to-wheel action for 267 laps, 400 miles, and we're going to see it all. Jarrett, what can we expect tonight?
What you can expect tonight is anyone in the field having a chance to win. This is almost like a super speedway. These guys know this track, they're comfortable with it, and it's bad, bad, bad fast.
And let's point this out quickly. You look at Charlotte, you want to say, okay, it's intermediate. They're going to spread out a lot, and I'm going to be honest, we can expect a lot from Atlanta from race 2 here in race number 5. When you think Daytona, Talladega, you think, okay, tight skill gap, anyone could go ahead and win it, right? Well, it's almost the same thing here, but at the same time, we are looking at drivers that are outside that top 20, top 25 coming in here and saying, hey, we got a big shot. We can talk about Zach Todrick. Blew my foot. I'm saying, hey, if I'm going to win this season, it's going to come at this track. Gary Owen as well. Very quick. Some of the content creators saying, this may be our best shot. Why is that? Well, they're just really good at the next gen. We're going to continue to keep an eye on that, but there's one thing we do have to point out. We have a big field coming. 49 drivers requested a race. We could see 44 close in to when we have to qualify, which means 4 guys have to go home.
Well, and on top of that, the top 20 are the only ones that are in. Everybody below 20th in points has to qualify in. So you got guys like Justin Champagne or Burrows, guys who are really, really good, who could miss the race if they don't hit the qualifying setup.
It's going to be a lot of fun to see, and you look at newcomers coming back in there just here for trophy hunting. I mean, we talk about Wyatt Tinsley. He rolled into Darlington with a big opportunity to win. He led the most laps in. One mistake made all the difference in the world, and we could see that very much tonight. We know it's not 600 miles like we're used to for an e-ticket event at Charlotte Motor Speedway. With it being 400, that means all the action's now condensed down. Let's talk about drivers that are basically in a must-win scenario to compete for a championship. Max Steinmeier, I think even Gary Owen, even though he's been very consistent. You look at some more drivers on the list. How about William Schmidt? He won an e-ticket back in 2022, but has really been a no-show the first 5 races. Let's keep an eye on those drivers, but you can't look away from Daniel Masto, the only driver with 5 top 5s, AK. Let me phrase that, 5 top 10s the entire season. 4, should we say? 4, could be 5 here tonight.
Well, and he has 3 top 5s more than anyone else. He has 2 more top 10s than anyone. Interestingly enough, though, he doesn't do it by leading laps. He's led 13 laps this season compared to Braden Movick's 256. A huge gap between the two of them, but he kills them with consistency. So expect him to be up front with the leaders throughout the night.
And we can expect a lot of good drivers heading forward. James Thurston has won more races here than I can count. Justin Champagne as well has been a no-show all season. This is his track where he can get it done. He messaged me earlier saying, hey, we got a shot at winning. His brother's coming in, another trophy hunter, Kevin Champagne. This is our shot. And if you look at all the finishing results in NR Night in Americas with these drivers, Dale Earnhardt can get a top 10, top 15. And all of a sudden, these drivers that don't win often or haven't won at all are stepping up to the plate. How about Jacob Wilkerson, another one? Had a big opportunity to win before, didn't capitalize, but he's usually running the top 10. It's going to be hard to really predict who's got a big shot at winning.
Well, and you mentioned guys who need to have a good performance. Guys like Justin Champagne or Wilkerson, they can save their season tonight heading into Talladega. they can gain a bunch of points on top of gaining points for Talladega. And that's not even looking at the guys for the championship either, just for guys that want to be in the race every week. So this race right now, the halfway point of the season, has a huge effect on what happens this point out.
Let's point this out too, something that you never really expect to affect a sim race. That's Mother Nature. Right now, there is a massive tornado outbreak down to the south and the Midwest. And at first we thought, hey, it could affect us as well. We were looking at a 40% issue. Getting grounded, it looks like we're not going to have an issue at all, but there's a lot of drivers in that cone of uncertainty that may have problems. Look at Max Swearish, and you look at guys coming in just for a one-off. Lane Sanders, look at drivers all the way up from Missouri down to Alabama. They could have an issue, and this could affect their championship run.
And it's going to be really big. We have different ways to make sure that drivers aren't unfairly treated with it, but you never know. The way that tornadoes, storms, anything like that hits, you could see somebody lead 300 miles of this race and end up finishing 30th because their internet gets taken out by a tree. That's how unpredictable this race is going to be tonight.
It's going to be a lot of fun too. Now let's talk about this car track combo. We talk about already how tight everything is, but it's very easy to make a mistake on these long green flag runs. Remember when we went to Daytona, we're like, hey, 10 laps in, drivers are talking about handling issues, and kind of woke everyone up like, whoa, they're not just sealed to the ground, burning laps. They're having to hold on to this car. Gets about lap 50, lap 40, and once you get out that big bunny hill down off 4 here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, we've seen guys lose the handling, lose the rear end, and all of a sudden, turn left, turn right, you're in the outside wall. We've seen Braden Movick do it. We've seen Spencer Burns do it. We've seen Wyatt Tinsley struggle sometimes off corner exit, and you start getting these big names up forward that are running up front. That's where some of the trouble goes down. We talk about trouble in the back a good amount, but what about the trouble forward? Justin Champagne has had handling issues off corner exit with these worn out tires, so keep an eye on that. We talked about the 670 package, small spoiler in the rear, but when these tires come in, it's going to be a handful.
Well, and we talked about, weather outbreak, but there are a lot of times outbreaks of yellows in these Charlotte races. And it can happen in the front, you can be collected in the back, and somebody else's problem who is 20 spots ahead of you. So a big key tonight is surviving those crashes in the middle portion of the race, whether it's 2 or 3 cautions right in a row, a restart wreck, somebody maybe thinking they can shoot the gap 3 wide when they can't. Those are all issues that every one of these drivers from first to 40th has to look for tonight.
And here's another thing we can point out. There's a good chance we can get our 5th different winner this season. Heading in, a lot of drivers saying, by race 5, we may have 1, maybe even 2 drivers that have won 2 races. A lot we're expecting Burrows to go out and get his win already. If Wyatt Tinsley was going to come into Darlington, all expected Wyatt Tinsley to go ahead and win there. Some expected Movick to win twice back at the fairgrounds. But at this point, you look at it, Andrew Cootie, who's still a championship contender, by the way.
8th in points.
Won race 1. Spencer Burns won race 2. Had a trouble in the last race 3 and race 4. But what it's looking like is we still have a very tight championship battle because we haven't seen a repeat winner. Jared, I ask you, do you think we get a repeat winner tonight?
I don't think so. I don't think we get a repeat winner. There's too many good drivers who have struggled this season and need a win, who are running up front this season and need a win. We talked about Timos, how good and consistent he's been. Hasn't won a race. Armstrong hasn't won a race. New Bigging, 4th in points, has not won a race. So I think we get our 5th different winner tonight.
I have to agree. There's too many drivers, like you just said, that haven't won yet, and that are even outside the bubble that we're talking about. Justin hasn't won yet. Kevin hasn't won yet. They're racing tonight. Let's talk about it again. Wyatt Tinsley. He should have won Darlington. That was his race. It was in the bag. One mistake, pack the bags, say goodbye. He's in tonight. Burrows as well. We have a very strong field of drivers, but how about the guys that have been consistent as well? King probably could have won Atlanta. Clearly, he was right there. Cottle could have won Darlington. Made a bad mistake down off turn 4. Costed him the win. Abraham Vila, probably, arguably, the best looking scheme tonight. The Matt Tonight scheme. It's the thumbnail. He is quick as well. He's been setting down lap times. Well, last time we checked, Anthony Burrows was top of the board right now in practice. So the opportunity is higher to see a first-time winner than a repeat nonetheless.
And it's going to make this night so unpredictable because you also have the short run versus long run cars and short runs versus long runs tonight. We may see 200 laps straight under green and then the race be decided by a green-white checker right at the end or an overtime, or maybe you don't save that fuel and run out of fuel. There's so many ways this race can end that it's really actually hard to pick who can win.
And we have to talk about tire lottery and fuel lottery as well. In Darlington, we're like, hey, are the tires good to go to the end, or is the fuel good to go to the end? Last time at an eTicket event here at Charlotte, we had a tire and fuel lottery. TCB causes a caution and we threw it out the window, but for whatever reason, Charlotte is notorious for one thing: being unpredictable. We've had races here where it's been caution after caution after caution. You look at the board, we're only 15 laps in, and all of a sudden we've had races here where 100 laps, green all the way. Not a single caution. Then we've had races here where it comes down to fuel mileage strategy and possibly an overtime finish. You can't really go out and say this is definitely what's going to happen tonight, and that's what makes One Hot Night so interesting. Brand new paint schemes, our first official just night race, not going day into night, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see. And oh, by the way, it's the final race of the Cup Series on my channel before we drag it on to you.
And we're starting with Talladega next time, so in 2 weeks from now, Talladega on this channel. This race, like I said, both for championship and who gets into that race, is going to be so important. Man, I want to get it started already.
Gonna be a lot of fun. Well, let's start out with the best part about Countdown to Green. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the picks. Jarrett, we got 5 guys to go through. What we love about this is that the chat gets involved. They spam who they think is going to win. Let us know who you think is going to win. Jarrett, right off the board, who's your underdog?
My underdog pick is somebody who has silently, under the radar, become a top 10 driver in the points. He is in the championship hunt. He has run well at Charlotte numerous times in Enter Night in America. I'm going with Gary Owen. That 5 car, I think, is going to be up front tonight.
That is such a solid pick, because last time we went to Charlotte, you mentioned, like, Gary got a top 5. You know, no disrespect to Gary, but it's like, Gary got a top 5 against these guys? Listen, if Gary Owen wins tonight, I think Twitter is going to be interesting, because last time him and Frank got in at Darlington, it went over to Twitter, and oh boy, you don't want that to happen.
Oh,
but
fun.
It went over there, and the next thing you know, if you're like, hey, Gary Owen, he's up there. He's got a shot. So, you know what? I can't go against that, but I got to say one thing. There's one driver I have not talked about since Daytona. Off turn 3, he's got it in the bag and then lost it after getting slammed, wrecked, chewed up, spit out. But I'm telling you, if the Todd is going to get it done, he's going to get it done tonight. He's got speed. He messaged me every single day saying, this could be it. John, this is going to be, I saw him in practice. He's got a lot of speed, showing him on the leaderboard. Give me Zach Todrick as my underdog. I'm telling you, PBR's been quick. Steinmeier's been quick. Give me him. He's going to get a big shot at winning tonight.
Hey, I don't want to sound like I'm echoing everything you say, but I think that's also a good pick as well. And he needs that redemption from Daytona. I think that he's going to be somebody who will, maybe not early on, be up front, but is going to sneak up and nobody's going to see him coming.
Yeah, that's the big thing, too. We're going to keep an eye on that. Well, let's go into our Fast 4. That's what we really want to go ahead and talk about.
Well, you talked about trophy hunters, and no other trophy hunter, in my opinion, has been somebody who we could see come up and win one of these races like Kevin Champagne. I see him, we talked about that whole Mac tonight. Well, that's another car that a McDonald's car that I think will be up front. That 94 is bad fast.
And you can't go to Charlotte without talking about Champagne, or at least one of the Champagne. So with that being said, our Fast 4, I'm calling it Justin Champagne. Give it to me. He's been hyped all week. He knows this is shot. We have highlight reels of these two going at it. Brother on brother. Justin getting into Kevin. Kevin getting into Justin. We can talk about it all night long, but you cannot leave out the Champagne bros. I think Justin personally has got a better opportunity than Kevin. That's why he's in my Fast 4. But nonetheless, both great picks.
They might be listening, and they've also taken each other out a lot. That could happen. They could be last lap and take each other out. So it's not a bad pick. I'm just picking Kevin over Justin.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to see. I mean, we don't want a Homestead repeat, but William Schmidt possibly does, because every time they've taken each other out, William Schmidt somehow wins the race. So let's get into our Fast 3.
Well, when it comes to the guy that I have on my third pick here, we talked about him a lot. Super consistent. There's no way I can't put Daniel Mosteller on this list. The 9 car has been fast everywhere they've went. He said over and over again, oh, this isn't a good track for me. I don't think I'm going to do well. And then his worst finish this year is 7. He has an average of, 4 when it comes to his finish? He is red hot right now, and that red 9 is going to be towards the front.
I'm going to be honest. I think he said the same thing about Darlington and Fairgrounds, and then just goes out there and finishes in the top 10. honestly, solid. But here's another thing we got to point out. I'm going to go for a safe pick here because as much as we would love to hear the underdog story, as much as we would love to see a first-time winner, you got to realize how tough this field is going to be. And it's going to be very, very tough tonight. So, what driver do you want to throw into your fast 3 to go win tonight? Anthony Burrows. Put him on an intermediate, and this driver's just gonna win. He's gonna run up front. He's gonna find a line. It will be the wall. It will be the apron if he has to. He will find a way to get up front, stay up front, and live up front. Anthony Burrows, that's the safest pick you can go for tonight.
I think it's a good pick, but he's got to make the race tonight. He's not in that top 20,
That's
just
a
like
big
the night
thing.
before. He's got to make this race. If he makes this race, which I think he will, I think he'll be a factor as well.
Gonna be a lot of fun. Top 2. This is where it gets heated.
I'm going Wyatt Tinsley because he had that Darlington race in the bag. He had it ready to go, made a mistake on pit road, charged like 9 seconds to be in the battle for the win, and then the internet becomes an issue, and maybe that happens again. We've seen crazier things happen, but I think tonight he redeems himself and he runs up front and competes for a win.
I like it, but I don't. Just because of one thing. Something always has to go wrong for Wyatt Tinsley. Southern 500. He led the whole thing. You could have gotten a sleeping bag. Gotten up an hour later, Wyatt Tinsley still has a 10-second lead. He threw it away. And then all of a sudden, same with this Darlington race, something always goes wrong. I think this is going to be a drama-filled night. I'm going to be honest. This is not going to be a routine e-ticket event. Like the NWP last year, I feel like it was very routine. Wyatt Tinsley went up, did well, won the race. Capiche, capoosh, everyone enjoyed it. But at the same time, tonight, with Charlotte, there's just something about it. Something's got to go wrong. Something's got to get heated. So, with that being said, I give you an underdog, a driver that has never won a race in NR Night in America. He's come close. How close? Turn 3 and 4, Kansas. He can see the start finish line. He might as well start celebrating. William Schmidt says, hold my beer. I'm going to full throttle on the outside, say goodbye, and I'm going to take the win away from you. It's literally what happened. It's on TikTok. But I'm telling you, if you're Jacob Wilkerson, tonight is your night. Give me the STP 43. I think Petty Blue's got a big shot. Hey, listen, you looked at me last time like that when I said Joseph King. I think King's another one you got to keep an eye out for. But I'm telling you, something is going to open up around halfway. Halfway, I'm telling you, the best of the best are going to be involved. And if Jacob Wilkerson can get it done tonight, he's going to remember this one forever.
But he's somebody else like Tinsley. You said it yourself of something always seems to happen. Why couldn't the 11 win? That's how I see it.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying, if you're Wilkerson, he's come way too close to not win. You might as well get it done on the biggest stage.
Well, when it comes to getting it done on the biggest stage, I have somebody who has been fast all year. He's just outside the top 10 in points. He's led laps, was pretty good the last time we were at an intermediate. I'm going to go with Abraham Vila. Mac tonight is going to win. We're going to have the thumbnail win again in one of these races.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, his scheme was quick. He is excited. Everyone's excited to see that scheme up there. But you know what? Every single race after Daytona, I said, we're going to see a new championship leader. Tonight, we're not. You know why we're not? Because this driver has been way too consistent. I know I said stuff has got to go wrong, but when it goes wrong for whatever reason, he's just not sitting there in the middle of it. Give me Demos. Give me Demos getting it done. Top of the board. He's going to win one hot night. It's going to be his first e-ticket win. He's going to pull away. And I'm telling you right now, a quest for a championship starts right now. I think he heads into Talladega with a breath of fresh air. I'm telling you, this is the first time this season we don't see a championship lead. If we do, then we just have the greatest points system. Thank you, because somehow it just all works out. I'm telling you, I see the 9 going to victory lane.
I think he'll do well, but I think that chaos effect is going to be there entirely through this night. I don't think we see a dull night at all.
I say the same thing. Remember Atlanta? Who remembers Atlanta? I remember very much Atlanta. Hey, lap 5, we got James Thurston doing cartwheels in turns 3 and 4. Listen, it's going to be a lot of fun, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into driver intros, and very soon, we're going to start our quest to set your field of 40 here in the NR Cup Series. Round 5 for one hot night. For the Darian Gilliam fans out there, BFM, he's racing 9 the 91. Keep an eye on that. Hey, he's another that needs to go for a win. Hasn't won since June of 2021. He hates when I continue to say that, but it's going to be absolutely amazing to see
He's got
him get it
that
done.
beautiful NWP car, so I want to see that car up front.
We got cars on track with 5 minutes left to practice. Anthony Burrows is going top of the board, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to get ready to go ahead and settle the score. Once again, 400 likes tonight. We will have a race 5 in the next NR Night in America. And let's go ahead and say goodbye for now. Next time you hear our voice, we're qualifying.
Spencer Burns, final time into 3 and 4. King's gonna send it. No deuce for the line. This is what it comes down to. The try spell's gonna end. It's victory for the 06. Spencer Burns gets it done in round 2 at Georgia. Make it Atlanta. Vila in Budweiser, victorious from Auto Club Speedway. Because that's how it's done on a Charlotte night. Jim Cadell Jr. stunts the show in North Carolina. Pushing, shoving to the outside. Drew Dua, first career win at Talladega.
New Bigging going wheel to wheel. That's back to 1 and 2. Cooties goes high. Stone goes high. Walker goes low. 2 up by 2, shuffling them out. And now Joey Stone's got the block every single lane. He looks to the middle.
Muddick's gonna send him. Eberhardt goes around. Douglas Newbigging is gonna win it in a walk-off. Victorious from North Wilkesboro.
Tango on the apron. It's gonna be a photo finish at the line. Greenwood.
He's got to work that magic down to 11. To the rear end. Joe pumps the brakes. Mosteller is gonna move him. Bump and run. Through turn 11. Final time into turn 12. Daniel Mosteller with a walk-off from Sonoma. It's gonna be a drag race back to the start-finish line. Skipper 3, car 97, Daytona 24 at the line. Matt Skipper, first career win at Talladega. Top to bottom, the 20 starts mirror driving, pushing the 24 wide. Wyatt Tinsley is gonna win the NWP 400.
Double wide behind these 4, but DeAngelis pushes Armstrong ahead. Brower now getting a run. The 3 of Scott gets it to the top 5 are single file.
On turn number 4, drag race, Rita, contact, it's all over. Blue Jimmy wins it at Homestead. Are you kidding me? What a finish, oh my God. Shuts the door to 3 and 4. Who's gonna win it? Mosteller drives it in deep. Thurston's able to hold on to it, and he's gonna walk it off for the Music City. James Thurston victorious. It's gonna send it in deep. Swaggy gets to the rear end. He gets in the back end of him. The bump and run at 1 turn 4. Max Swearigan victorious from Long Pond.
Now King moves his car up, trying to block the air.
And he's got to defend because that 06 saved the tires, and he's not going to stop himself at all from trying to get to victory lane. Moore, here he comes to the outside. Baker tries to block side by side. Timothy J. Moore steals the win at Talladega. Jeffries finishes 3rd. Alex Anderson comes home 4th. That's going to do it. It's going to be a controversial win, but it's going to be a W. Joseph Armstrong, victorious from the Coliseum. Max Steinmeier trying to make it back. He will. He's going to win it at Talladega. Jordan Brand should change for Alabama. Andrew Cooties, 24. Frank D'Angelo, 69. Andrew Cooties has just won the Daytona 500. Terrell Baker, through the grass, wins the 2011 Coca-Cola 600. Giles on the outside. Fluffy finding his way to the lead. Let me rephrase that. Finding his way to the catbird seat to find his way then to the lead. We stay green, everyone on their feet. Abraham Vila, David Joyner. Joyner looking for his first win in NR Night in America. Inside lane did not get going. That's Lane Sanders. The drive off corner exit will now be the battle for the lead. Ford on Toyota. Hayes closing race pretty big. Swearigan looking to close the door. Schmaker to the bottom. Final time through 3 and 4.
and Champagne gets bumped out of the way. Justin Champagne victorious in the clash. Scott up into the outside wall, and it's the greatest comeback in NR history. Braden Mutnick is going to walk it off from Darlington Raceway. 1 to go from Kansas. 4 more corners to get his first win. Champagne dials it into a 19. Here he goes. They're side by side for the final time contact. They wreck. Gregory is going to win the Daytona 500. Are you kidding me?
Make room, TCB, because there's a new driver with 2 e-ticket events. 1 in NR Night in America. It's the way of the 48. It's the way of the Chevrolet. Dodge is defeated as the bow ties go victorious. Down home in Indiana, Chad Thornquist victorious in the Brickyard 400. It's gonna be a drag race. Back to the start first. I know it's not contact. Schmidt gets turned. Zach Tondrev victorious from Michigan. Are you kidding me? 3 wide, Kroenke, welcome back, my man. The Menard Chevrolet now leading back down into 1 and 2.
We are gonna see a new winner for an e-ticket event. Anthony Burrows is gonna win the Into the AM Southern 500 at Darlington. On turn number 4 for the final time, Tinsley Flatside. Demos has got to make a run to the short chute for the final time. All bets are off. Tyler Tinsley victorious from Daytona. Face up goes to 75. William Schmidt is going to win an e-ticket event. The underdogs rule in South Florida. Schmidt, SKS and Phoenix Racing get it done from Homestead Miami Speedway and win the Ford 400.
Wait, watch Dale. Watch the move. He goes down
He
low.
hesitated. He couldn't commit.
And then he goes back up. That's on Dale.
No, that's 110%.
He wasn't clear at all.
Cadell flying to back might as well be a country mile because it can only be 1 by 1, and it goes to Red Bull here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Dylan Basin wins another one from the Carolinas.
Got Rusty. Rusty's doing a great job just sticking right with them, trying to just work on his own race.
Dominguez on the outside, Vila all over him. Shamila stuck in neutral and dropping back. That's Dominguez down to the inside lane. He's going to hold that wheel to wheel. Brings the daylight to Vila on the far side.
Through the tri-oval for the final time. Darian is going to win at Talladega.
Kevin Champagne is going to put a check mark next to the W column, and he's going to be winning in the month of August. Kevin Champagne victorious from Charlotte, USA. Full contact, there they go. That's glass around, down to the inside. They all shuffle about. One in the grass, that's Mason. Caution is going to wave.
How did they all save that?
Ladies and gentlemen, qualifying underway. Top of the board, James Thurston, 29.89.
Braden Mutnick right behind him by about a 10th. For all of you BFM fans, Darian, 10th out of 17. As more guys start putting their laps down.
I want to keep an eye here on Douglas Newbiggie. He continues to roll his way back down the backstretch. He's taking that higher arc back through 3 and 4 than some machines would. Left side of your screen now, we will have the custom overlays on once we take the green flag. How about Dylan Basin up to 7th? He was a no-go possibly. We're looking at it, 2 guys maybe going up early. TCB up to 2nd.
You got Blue Jimmy top 10. You got Smrinker up into 2nd. Burns 3rd. So a lot of people getting some good laps put down.
TCB with a flyer. Here's going to be locked in the show. Spencer Burns locked in. Devin Schmier, Gary Owen up to 6th. And just as said, in countdown to green, you just can't count him out.
I told you he's fast. Top 10 in points. He might get better than that.
It's going to be a lot of fun to see that Toyota. Let me phrase that Chevrolet. Target Chevrolet. Works his way down the backstretch. How about my man, Zach Tondrev, baby?
Do big in 3rd.
Up to 7th. And right off the gut from qualifying, you can already see what we talked about in the pre-race show. It's gonna be tight. Joseph Armstrong
Demos to the pole.
Armstrong on the inside, down off corner exit. Mosteller, 29.89. Ties there with Thurston, but Ty goes to your points leader.
Well, remember, whoever gets the pole gets a bonus points. This would be huge for Demos to get this pole. Armstrong to 3 and 4.
The 4 momentum is doing well. Abraham Vila jumps up to 14th. That's the 20 machine down off corner exit. Joseph Armstrong, do we see top of the board? We do not. That was his out. Let me phrase that. That was lap number 1. That's a 21. This is flyer down to the inside of 1 and 2. Love what I'm seeing out of this Toyota. He knows he's got to win a championship. He knows he's got to do better than this 9. A quest for a championship. Rallies through Concord. It's going to be a lot of fun to see what this Toyota can do.
Joey Stone, top 18 now. He's 18th. Needs a good run tonight. And Joe gets loose there. Slow lap.
No, that's it. He's done.
That's it.
Abraham Vila sitting 14th. The Mac tonight. Chevrolet, the fly back down the backstretch.
Thornquist up to 8th now.
Bonetto to 16th. Basin to 18th. David Joyner back there in 20th. Chad Thornquist has not had a great season, but a brand new paint scheme. Getting ready to rock and roll.
Yep. And let's see the last guys straggling in before we get this qualifying session over.
Well, we're going to see who's in and who's out. So far, Blake McCandless in barely. Rusty out. We're still looking for times. Matt Skipper in. Kevin Champagne in. Now Blake McCandless is out. We're going to see. It's going to go off of iRating. And Russell Cox will be out of this race. Blake McCandless is in. Matt Skipper is in. Tyler Tinsley is in. And the other 3 to 4 drivers that did go ahead and sign up will not make the show. Mosteller, Thurston, the drivers that finished 1-2. Last 2 weeks at the fairgrounds are 1-2 here for one hot night.
And Demos gets that extra point, extends his point lead to 9 over Braden Mubbock, who qualified 7th tonight.
Let's get ready to go green. 40 drivers will go ahead and take the grid as we have our second full field for an e-ticket event this year. It's going to be a lot of fun to see how this all rolls out. Shoemate 18th. I wouldn't say I'm surprised about that, but not that bad of a start for him. A lot of these guys was getting very tight on the lineup. Abraham Vila back to 15th. Surprise. I thought I would see him in the top 8, but there's still a long race ahead. 267 laps. Zach Todger, top 10. Cottle, top 10. The Deuce, baby.
Keep an eye on Joey Stone. He's had some good runs at Charlotte in the past. Starting 20th, mid-pack, going to have to take care of himself. And in his inaugural start, Blue Jimmy 16th on the board in that 13 car.
Gonna be a lot of fun to see. Wyatt Tinsley's got ground to make up. At Darlington, he started top of the board. This time has to get through 12 machines. Giles back to 17th. Top of the board, you'll see where all 40 drivers will go ahead and qualify in today's event. Ladies and gentlemen, to all that have tuned in, we say welcome as we get ready to go wheel to wheel for 400 miles from Charlotte, North Carolina. Getting ready to go green. We're going to go ahead and roll out here in just a moment. We're going to do a couple pace laps to get things locked and loaded. Jarrett, what's the fuel window looking like? We didn't get a green flag stop last time.
Well, a few keys to the race tonight. Fuel window about 60 to 70 laps, meaning that, say we do, knock on wood, go green tonight. It'll be 4 to 5 stops in this race, 35 mile per hour speed limit on pit road. To let everybody else know, there are a lot of drivers still under threat of tornadoes in real life, not in the sim. So gonna be a bit of a Russian roulette race tonight, 400 miles, 267 laps.
Gonna be a lot of fun to see nonetheless as we get ready to roll. Chevrolets take the front row. Lights are gonna be on the pace car. Ladies and gentlemen, for the 5th time this season, we're rolling in the NR Cup Series. Thurston, brand new livery. This time by, he's got the Tony Stewart 2011 Burger King scheme on behind. Schminger down to the inside. New big. I'm surprised about the driver in third. Really interested to see what he can do. But TCB, hey, his shot at becoming the first driver to win a triple crown rolls right now. Nobody has ever won 3 e-ticket events. Today, TCB can go ahead and be the first.
Well, on TCB, through the 5, 3, 4, 5, whatever races, he has not got a top 10 yet. He's been nowhere to be found this season in that Hot Wheels car, and this really presents a great chance for him to assert himself back into the running as one of the top drivers going for wins each week.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to see. Now, how about some notables outside? I'm telling you, we don't talk about the content creators a lot, but you might as well talk about Joey Stone. Long green flag run. He's usually the last one to pit. He's always looking for a caution because he wants that track position possibly on a restart. We get a long green flag run into yellow. That 6 machine is still out there. Keep an eye on him because most likely everybody will have to come back down on pit road.
Hey, these Charlotte races have been fueled with lotteries before. They can very easily become it tonight. And Joey Stone staying out later, that only speaks good for him on these long runs.
Let's get ready to go green. This time by, we're going to bring it on pit road. Next time by, the one to go, and we're going to go ahead and get ready to light this one up. Ladies and gentlemen, on this beautiful Tuesday night, we say thank you as we get ready to roll your Braden Movick. You're getting ready to have a big opportunity to win. He says he likes this car track combo. He says sometimes he doesn't like this car track combo. Tonight, it's going to be interesting to see what he can do in that 42.
I think he's going to be fast. He can say all he wants, whether he's good or bad at the track. He has been consistently fast all season long, and I don't see any reason why that black McDonald's car can't be up front.
And we haven't been talking about Matthew Brower a lot. He's back there in 13th. He has been consistent, and I mean very consistent up front. You always see him on the tower. Hey, this could be a driver that runs under the radar and goes top of the board.
He's 7th in points right now, only 39 out of the points lead, so I think he's someone who could set himself up really, really nicely for Talladega.
Gonna be a lot of fun to see. Ladies and gentlemen, we roll this time by to go ahead and bring them down on pit road, and let's get ready to go green.
You just feel the anticipation building up for this. You can see how they were practicing, how they were qualifying, how they were talking in the Discord, how much energy is in this race tonight. Full field, next-gen cars, all under the lights. God, I just want to get this thing started.
Gonna be a lot of fun to see. Let me phrase that. They come down on pit road this time by. It will be one to go. We're gonna go one to go. Lights off this time as we get ready to go green. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to roll just one more time. And our night in America, fueling victories all year long. You know, let's say those magical words. God, speed, drivers. You are go for throttle up. They'll come back off. We're getting ready to go green.
And they're going to line them up 2 by 2, 40 cars, 20 rows. And they are just amped tonight. I'm amped tonight. I cannot say how amped I am for this race tonight. I'm watching these guys in practice. I'm seeing how confident they all are. Everyone thinks they can win tonight. And for maybe the first time all season since Daytona, I think they're right.
Let's get ready to do it. Do we see another first-time winner of this season? Do we see a first-time eTicket event winner? Will the veterans roar just one more time? 40 enter, 40 race. Both times lined up. Ladies and gentlemen, through 3 and 4, let's get this race rolling. Time to get ready to go green, and it's a sold-out virtual crowd on a Charlotte night, a one-hot night. To be exact, a year ago, we had the Coca-Cola 600 kicked off a renaissance for NR Night in America at eTicket events. A year later, we get ready to drop the hammer just one more time, and as your field of 40 approaches that restart zone to go full saw, we say let's light the fuse from Charlotte, USA. Down into 1 and 2, that inside lane got a great jump. Shoemate looking for a way around. That's still 2 by 2 and shuffling behind. It's Schmeeker downstairs. It's Thurston on the outside. It's the thundering roar of machines down off corner exit.
Demos clears him for the lead, but Thurston clears him for second. Looking high on the 9 car as they go through 3 and 4. Burns joins him in third.
That 14 wants to get to the quarter pound, probably try to suck the air back around. Not going to happen. It's going to be cleared back single file. Mosteller will lead lap number 1. There was trouble in the rear. We stay green. That was Alexander Dominguez and company as they worked their way through 1 and 2.
Demos might have led 1, but he's not getting away that quick. Only about a 1/10 and a half between Thurston and him, and Thurston is closing.
He's closing it massively right now. It's 10 the difference, 9 the difference, and Burns is right with them. He's going to get right to the rear end of the Camaro. They're all still sucked back down the bottom. Burns hits the apron, drops back a tad. It's Chevy on Chevy to the point, back to the start-finish line.
They're lining them up now. The battle is for 11th between Kroenke and Owen. Up front, though, Thurston trying to find a way around that 9 car.
He's going to look top, he's going to look bottom, but if you look behind, it's all that single-file brigade down to the inside lane. Third-Quist under fire, that's Cottle. New Bigging lines up and loaded. No stretch from the forward to the back end. That's going to be Thurston looking top, trying to get the run back off corner exit.
But he will not. That 9 car is about even with them. 2/10 between the top 2.
4 up, 4 down. You're just joining in. We say welcome. It's rush hour from the high banks of the Charlotte Motor Speedway NR Cup Series. One hot night. New Bigging lined up on the bottom. All these drivers lined in for one thing and one thing only. A long green flag run. We said it before. or we could go green for a long time. Still have to look between lap 50 to lap 60.
TCB got loose, lost 2 spots. Now he's fighting with the 2 car. Thornquist got by him, so that's the first battle on track. Kroenke right with him.
Cottle up top, he's going to try to get him, and he's going to get that roll right back through the center. Kroenke is dead even with the Ford in front. It's Thornquist jumping top. It's Baker stuck on the bottom. Cottle could get a 2 for 1. Rolls the center, maybe not. Baker gets the drive off corner exit.
They're dead even for now, but Cottle has the outside lane, has the run down, and has the draft. He's clear.
He's looking, he's peeking, but how about up front? That's the top 3 of them now. Back to suck down to the inside lane. It's Schmeeker back to 4th. It's New Bigging back to 6th. Braden Mubbick and company as well. You look back, Thornquist is under fire.
And Thurston's looking high for the lead on Demos. He's up high, has a nose, now side by side.
He's got him right here. If you just get that drive off corner, Rex are going to keep it on the 9, who tries to hold on to it but can't. Thurston to the point. Thurston to the lead in one hot night.
Have it your way. The 14 is in the lead. Now Burns tries to follow behind. Single file for the moment, and the 9 looking low.
Mosteller lost some time. How about lost some forward momentum down off corner exit? It still Burns. 2-6 back, and now will be under fire from the driver back out in front. It's still Thurston, Mosteller, Burns, Schmeeker as your fast 4. Douglas, New Bigging, and Mubbick, they're closing in. It's about to be the top 6 under a second off turn 2.
Yeah, top 6 have built up a gap now between them and the rest of the field. The fight for the lead is among them.
You look towards the back end, that's about 18th. What do you got? Wheel-to-wheel action. Max Swearingen into the bottom. That's the 43. Machina Wilkerson on the outside. He's still trying to hold that wheel-to-wheel. Lane Sanders making his first appearance in NR Night in America for the Cup Series. He's downstairs, huddling just within that top 20 range. With a battle for the lead is back. Mosteller way up the track.
Way up the track and now falling a little back, but getting the run down. Only a 10th between them, trying to get the lead again is Demo.
Burns is just watching on down low. Last time he came here, this car track combo, he pushed it as hard as he can. Lap 50, he was on ice skates coming off 4. We talk about that transition from the high banks all the way back to the straight. Right now, Mosteller looking to the inside on the Chevrolet.
The 14 still clear on the lead right now, but it's less than a 10th between them. Burns right there, he's loose.
What a save. Able to hold on to it back down to the inside. He could have had a big victory at that outside wall. He's going to be wheel-to-wheel here in the 32 of Schmeeker. Schmeeker on the outside looks for 3rd. It's New Bigging back there in 5th. Has closed back in on the blue oval. Top 2 are broken away down off 4.
But Thornquist has joined this battle. I noticed he did this a little earlier. Diamonding the corner. Now he's looking high on Mubbick while the 2 leaders get ahead.
Gonna be a lot of fun to see how the rest of this night rolls. Thornquist up to 6. He's on the outside there in the 42 machine. He gets the drive off nonetheless. Puts Mubbick back a spot. Now he looks for 1 position forward. That's Douglas New Bigging. Single file now spreading out back through 3 and 4.
He enters about a lane higher, gets down low, gets that run off the corner, and you see he sucks right up to the 7. He's been trying to set him up high every time.
Well, what we did see before, ladies and gentlemen, is it spread out, but just like a rubber band, it's back to being all tied up front. Top 7 under a second as they work their way back to the inside of 1 and 2. It's Thurston, it's Mosteller, it's Schmeeker and Burns as your fast 4, but that Thornquist machine has been on a roll. Burns got the door slammed by the 32 back through 3.
He falls back to New Bigging. They're really, really close now for 4th and 5th. They get through the corner, though.
Trying to get back down off corner exit. Cottle under fire. That's back to the 59. Let me go ahead and rephrase that. That is the 57 of Alexander Kroenke. Mosteller to the outside. He wants a shot at the lead. He's going to make that wide arc back to the center of the corner. The question is, can he get the drive off? He does. Mosteller to the point, to the lead here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Side by side, not for long. He's cleared him. Demos back to the lead.
12 laps in, and they're racing like it's 1 to go, and that's what you love to see. But Thurston's got to run. He brings the Chevrolet back to the point. Stock in the Bray up front. Mosteller with limbo down to the AstroTurf. Thurston got the left sides in it. It's back nose to tail through 1 and 2.
This time Mosteller stays low to block, taking the air off the 14. Doesn't matter. They're still right on top of each other.
Schmeeker back to 3rd, watching on. It's now Burns back to 4th. Mubbick continues to drop. Was under a second, now not. Mosteller with a massive drive in. Thurston looking to go ahead and capitalize. 14 the difference, 12 the difference. He closes back in on the Chevrolet, back to the start-finish line.
Thurston did what Thornquist did, dime in the corner, gave him the run. Now he looks high the same way Demos did. Can't get it done this time, but he's trying to get the run.
He's trying to get back to that quarter panel, but the 9's going to slam the door to the outside. The question is, can he get the drive back down the bottom? The answer may as well be no, as they're all single filed out. Cottle back to 9th, Kroenke back there in 10th. TCB, best outing for a start of a race this season. He's up inside the Elite 8.
But up front, the battle for the lead is staying hot. The 14 looks low, nowhere to go. Gonna try high again? Nope, right behind Demos.
And he's gonna park it right in front of the BK machine nonetheless. Now Thurston looks to go ahead and use the apron to help him turn. A little bit sideways back down off corner exit. Baker back in 8th, maybe under fire soon because Cottle is back on the move. 2 seconds back from your race leader, but what's going on behind? Max Swearingen, Lane Sanders, they're still wheel to wheel as looks like Darian Gilliam has entered the top 20.
Black flags matter. The NASCAR Weekly Podcast machine trying to make his way up. He's ahead of Armstrong right now. Looking to make this a 3-car battle for the 18th, 17th spot.
Joe didn't get a great start to this race. We ride on board downstairs with Max Swearingen. That's Darian on the outside, lined up with Lane Sanders. He looks for the drive off corner exit. He's going to get it, but he's stuck within the squeeze as the 15 has parked it downstairs.
He had contact with the 15.
Oh, Baker's dropping back. Big time. Right in front, you can see the 25 Hot Wheels machines wheel to wheel with Vila. May have been an issue up in front of the drivers that are battling for 20th.
And the top, it looks like 12 have stayed a bit spread out, a bit single file, but they're looking at every inch of this racetrack. There is not a piece of this track not being used by a driver.
Well, let's look at Wyatt Tinsley as well. He's starting to work his way forward. He's up to 10th as they single file. More contact behind. Max Swearingen, Lane Sanders. They're still trading paint just 17 laps in.
That 47 and 43 are joining them. A huge scrum right now, battling behind the 25.
Max wants to find a way around the Ford. Sanders will not give in. That wheel to wheel, it's gone absolutely nowhere as Sanders scrapes the outside wall. Up front, Mostello, that was once your race leader, has dropped back to 4th. That's Chad Thornquist up to 5th. It's single file for the most part of the Sweet 16. It's 17th on back that you want to keep an eye on.
Well, there's a full second now between New Bigging in 6th and Mubbick in 7th. Probably had a bit of a deal with the 25, but the top guys are starting to pull away from the rest of the pack.
A lot of fun to see, just 19 laps in, but nonetheless, James Thurston would like to do one thing, win again. But right now, Spencer Burns under fire for the driver in the Cat Burns seat. You look on back, that's the 91 of Gilliam, sweeping down to the outside lane. He's up to 18th.
And a little contact between he and the 29, 3 wide behind him. Armstrong and the 29 make contact.
Lane Sanders being chewed up, spit out, goodbye. That's how it is for now. Max Swearingen back in 17th, lined up and loaded. Darian has worked his way up to the 18th spot. Baker back to 16th, had a great start, but by lap 20, he's back just outside that top 10.
And Wilkerson looking right underneath the 91. He gets the run off. Can he clear him? Yes, he does.
Yeah, he's able to hold on to it. You see what's still going on all the way in the back end. Sanders lined up. That looks to now be a new machine that he's under fire with. That may be Joey Stone. Wyatt Tinsley, we expect him to work his way forward. He very much is. He's up to the 8th position. Nonetheless, under fire, that's Jim Connell. That's worked right back to the rear.
And in 10th, Kroenke looking high. These drivers trying to test that high line out. It's working for some, not others.
Hey, he's going to try to get the drive right here. I think we just have to wait for that rubber to build up on that outside lane. Once again, start with 0% track state. As time works on, you work higher and higher, and that second group will go ahead and come in. But Devin Schmeeker has not had any trouble with machines behind him. Burns has filled that mirror the entire race. Nonetheless, still just 3 back to your leader.
And slowly that 14 pulling a bit of a gap. Now it's getting eaten into, but 3/10 between 1st and 2nd. Now make it 4.
Lined up, nose to tail. That's how it works this time by. 22 out of 267. New Biggin back to 6th. Mubbick back to 7th. All lined in. Wyatt Tinsley back with Cottle. They're still holding that nose to tail as Schmeeker has dropped back to half a second.
And it looks like Tinsley jumped up to that 2nd lane trying to get a run off, and the battle is between New Bigging and Thornquist when it comes to 5th.
Mubbick may be under fire here soon. You look at the left side of your screen. Tinsley's moving, but let's talk about the movers of the race. Thurston up a spot. Schmeeker up a spot. Burns up 2. How about Wyatt Tinsley? Highest mover up inside that top 14, up 5 since the start, and we still got a long way to go.
And you look at some of the guys moving back. Demos down 3, down 2 for New Bigging, 2 for Todriff as well as Brown.
Spencer Burns only a second back, lined up nose to tail. That's Mosteller that is lined up as well. He's back there in that 4th position. New Bigging back there in 6th. Still single file out. Let's talk about strategy here. Thurston out to a great lead nonetheless. Obviously, he's going to try to go ahead and get another win, but at the same time, when do you come to pit road?
Well, I mean, the fuel window is 60 to 70 laps, so depending on how long they can go, we're going to be quickly approaching halfway through the fuel run. These tires are going to fall off, and you look right now, Vila probably saved up a bit. He's looking high on Gary Owen.
Yeah, he's going to look for this spot nonetheless. This will be the battle for 12 with Chevy on Chevy. You got more wheel to wheel behind. Joseph Armstrong, Max Swearengin. Joey Stone has joined the world. He's back there in 20th. It's starting to work his way forward, but nonetheless, you got to keep an eye on it. Undercut, overcut. If it's early, you might as well overcut because a long green flag run will stay a long green flag run, but at the end of the day, cautions do precautions.
Well, while we're having some comers and goers, it's been big mistakes that have sent people a little further back. So track position right now is imperative when it comes to who is going to be fighting for this win. That's what's going to be the big part of this. Who makes a mistake heading into the pits as we have a battle for second now.
That's Burns to the inside. Schmaker opened up the door, and they're going to hold that wheel to wheel. Mosteller with an internet issue. That's what you don't want to see as your championship leader. We saw Joseph Armstrong have that last time when racing as Burns jumps back down to the inside. Still that wheel to wheel. Thurston has checked out, but nonetheless, he's not saving tires.
No, not at all, but it's double file behind him. This is what he loves to see. These guys fighting for second and fourth. Right now, Schmaker gets a nose ahead of Burns entering 1.
Yeah, he's all the way back to that outside. See, Burns going to go ahead and park it back into that blue line. Wheel to wheel, Mosteller having to go ahead and hold the squeeze as Chad Thornquist will rocket around the outside and still hold the wheel to wheel.
Oh, and Douglas New Bigging, he enters this battle. So does Brayton Mubbick. The fight heating up from 2nd through 7th.
These are your championship contenders, the 9, the 7, the 42. They're back under a bubble. That's 5th, 6th, and 7th as Thornquist had to hold a prayer down off corner exit. Absolutely nearly just lost the rear end. He still holds the wheel to wheel as New Bigging now looks under fire. Mubbick saved the tires. He's going to rim right to the outside.
He's way up high. He's getting the run off side by side with New Bigging right behind Thornquist.
Yeah, he's trying to go ahead and get some of the work done. You can see the 14, how far out in front he is, but he's starting to get reeled in already. Burns on the move to the bottom. Schmaker on that outside, back wheel to wheel. Mosteller looking to get back to winning form. Wheel to wheel, but Brayden Mubbick slots back into 6th position.
And side by side for 9th as well, between the 57 and the 2. Battle of the Beers. Right now, the Lowe's car starting to fall back. Schmaker falling back too.
Yeah, he's dropping like a rock, so that puts Spencer back to 2nd, a driver that might as well get another win if you want to win a championship. Schmaker back there in 4th, Thornquist back there in 5th. He's on the outside lane with everybody else just hugging that inside line. He still looks for the drive off, but he's getting the door slammed by the 42.
Oh, a little contact between them. Now he's side by side due to it. Battle for 5th, 48-42 entering 1.
Mother had a handful as well, and this is the part where we start saying, hey, how's the handling 30 laps in? Schmaker holding on the middle. He's got machines behind him that are looking for a way around. Top, bottom, all the way back to the outside. He's going to get out of the way.
3 wide for a moment. Now Wyatt Tinsley up into the top 5.
Yeah, he's worked hard, and that's what we talked about in the first 20 or so laps. Everyone was kind of on the same page. Now it's, what do you really got for me to go take a win away from these drivers ahead of you? Tinsley top side, Mubbick on the bottom. Back into 1 and 2. Mosteller brings the fight to the 06. It's Ford Chevrolet for P2.
And Wyatt Tinsley in that 11 looking low. The 9 getting the run, trying to pass Burns. And they make a little contact, still all good.
Yeah, that 9 may have gone to that outside wall. You can still see the 06 of Burns hugging it right out in front. Wyatt Tinsley up to 4th. Vila up to 11th. The comers and goers, you talk about 10 laps ago. Who's moving, who's not? Wasn't a lot. Right side of your screen, Wyatt Tinsley up to double digits as he works to 3rd.
Wyatt Tinsley may have the fastest car in the field, but he's got to eat up a about 2 second lead as he's side by side for 2nd, trying to get the run a little loose, but they still keep it together.
Burns wasn't going to go ahead and let him clear. Nonetheless, James Thurston has still been able to pull away because it's the big fight from 2nd, 3rd on back. You look at Kroenke, he's in the mix. Forget first and second. It's second through eighth you want to keep an eye out. They're in a big mosh pit down off corner exit.
And that mosh pit only grows more. Vila has entered the top 10, fighting with another McDonald's car in the back.
Still looking for a way around. Thornquist on the outside lane. Another one that may have scraped the wall. Cottle is there. It's Vila that's there. Mubik dropped back to ninth. You keep an eye on him. He's worked his way back to the outside. But Wyatt Tinsley, 1-8-2 the difference. One goal. Catch the 14 back through three.
We've seen him make up huge leads before, but it's been difficult tonight to keep up with the 14. About 2 seconds now between them. The lead stabilized, but kind of grows a little too.
Gonna be a lot of fun to see. 1-8-2 the difference. Burns is locked in. Thornquist not wasting a beat at all. Jumps right back to that outside lane, but right now it's gonna be back under fire by the Coca-Cola Chevrolet. Wheel to wheel down off corner exit. Can he clear? He might. Yes, he does. Nose to tail as Cottle in the deuce works his way to the bottom.
Braden Mubik is above him. They're battling for the 9th spot, right at the back of the top 10. Demos looking under the 48.
It is an e-ticket event, and the first 35 laps have been absolutely amazing. Mosteller, peak top, peak bottom. He goes back to the inside again. Chad Thornquist has not wasted a beat. He's got it parked down on that blue line once again. Tinsley, 1-7-8 the difference. The real battle all the way in the back. That's Kroenke. That's Connell, all under fire down the backstretch.
Connell got into the wall, but they had 3 cars up on that top line. Kroenke has made his way up into the top 6 now, but Mubik wants to take it from him.
He wants it. He's looking to clear. You thought about it, but the last thing you didn't think about is that rear end sliding out. He's going to lose speed off corner exit. That puts Kroenke into 6. That puts Mubik back on that bottom end. Tinsley has closed in on your race leader. 1-6-8 the difference between first and second.
And now Mubik gets up to 6th, past that 57 car.
All lines up, 36 laps in. No caution. Are you surprised, Jared?
Not really. These guys have been really good with these cars early on, big picture racing. What I'm surprised with is that leader, Thurston, while his lead has gone down a little bit, he's got basically a new zip code.
Zach Todger back there in 12-1, scraping the wall again. You see Burns using the entire track, but Wyatt Tinsley is another one back on the move. Burns third, Thornquist fourth, Mosteller back to fifth, all working their way to the outside. This is where the tires become an issue. Here starts to see a lot of drivers struggling with corner exit.
Well, we talked about tires. I want to point out somebody in the top 20. You have Joey Stone, well, he fell off there, but he was making his way up. Wilkerson has a little bit too, but I'm surprised with Armstrong stuck back in 18.
How about Dominguez on the start of this race? Had to park it on the apron. He dropped all the way back. Has now worked his way up to 19th. What a rally for him. Thought he would need a caution to go ahead and be visible on our screen. It's still Mosteller on the outside. Cottle with a drive and a run back to 7th. Mubik back to 5th. Lined up. We've seen the Deuce go to victory lane here with this car track combo. Do not keep him out. It's Ford on the outside looking wheel to wheel.
Well, and that blue Deuce pulling right to the back of the 48. He looks high, not side by side yet, but his nose is there.
And he's looking, he's peaking 39 laps in. Do we see green flag stop? So by the way, we're about, what, 10, 15 laps away. So it's knocking on the door nonetheless. Early on, you see a long green flag run. The idea is to pit without any issues. We've seen before, issues can happen out of just thin air.
We almost had an issue. That 42 and 48 were really close, same with the 2. And you look at Vila, he's slowly made his way up, waits for guys to make mistakes, and then passes. He's up 7 from the start.
Tinsley still on the move. 1-3-5 the difference for him. The herd behind is still struggling to close on in. That still looks Braden Mubik. That still looks Daniel Mosteller. He wants to drive off the outside lane, looks back to the bottom. That's wheel to wheel. Here's Thornquist down to the inside.
He's going to lose a ton of spots, but he didn't lose the car completely. He's going to fall from, what, 6th, 7th to probably all the way back to the 8th, 9th range.
That could have been a lot worse. He had a date with the inside wall. He was able to cancel it pretty quickly because that was going to be bad for him. And if you're Wyatt Tinsley, you didn't want to see a yellow. So he's playing the strategy perfect. 1-2 back now, closing in on Thurston. You still look at what's going on. Braden Mubik on the move. Jim Cottle back on the move as well. Vila has worked his way back in the Elite 8. These are the drivers that got prepared for a long green flag run. Who are the ones that didn't? Baker, maybe Wilkerson, Devin Schminker for sure. He's back to 14th. But the long run boys, Zach Todger, Gary Owen, New Biggie, they have all flourished on forward. 42 laps out of 267.
Well, and the lead has been cut down to just a second now. A full second being cut off. He's not catching him like Darlington, but he sure is catching him.
Gary Owen on the move up to 12th. That still looks Cody Giles. Back to the inside on that wheel. That's still the 57 at Kroenke. One win in NR Night in America came from the Auto Club Speedway of the Xfinity Series machines. But right now, Wyatt Tinsley has closed that gap. Back to a 109. James Thurston, his time up front may be coming to a close.
Well, and Demos, only a 1.6, 1.8 for Mubik. Burns, only 2. So they're reeling in that 14 car, but he's still strong.
I want to keep an eye on the driver at third. He may be closing in faster than Wyatt Tinsley. And here's the thing. If Thornquist goes for the dogfight instead of just laying back and letting him go, we may see a big 3, 4, 5-car battle for the lead because Mostello will be in the mix, Mubik's going to be in the mix, and no one's going to let that 11 Toyota get away.
Well, and now you saw it for a moment. They're coming up too on lapped traffic. That's going to be really big on how they get through this field too.
Gonna be a lot of fun to see while that goes on up front. Let's look behind. Joey Stone has worked his way up to 10th. That's Zach Todriff and Brower back through the wheel. Brower back to 15, Todd back to 14. Baker looking to make up time. We'll keep an eye on that. Mosteller in third. Mubik back to fourth. Tinsley struggled back through the corner entry of 1 and 2. He's lost the time, but he's ready to rally back to Thurston.
It's going to be Thurston's race to lose at the moment. Still lots of time left, obviously. But Tinsley starting to fall back about 4/10, and you're starting to see a bit of shuffling behind the top 3. Mubik and Vila battling each other.
Cottle back to 7th, Giles back to 8th. That rounds out your Elite 8. Second and third is what we want to focus on. Maybe not, because we got rid of Burns and Cottle. Cottle back downstairs. Burns on the outside, still able to hold that wheel as they rally back through 3 and 4.
This is the point that handling means so much. This far in a run, we're still 15 to 20 away from pit stops, and you basically just got to hang on for dear life.
How about Mosteller under fire? Mubik down to the inside, wheel. This will be the battle for the third spot. Might as well be the battle for second because Tinsley has been struggling. How is James Thurston staying out this long? I have no idea. I thought for sure he would have been gone back to 5th by now.
Maybe his car's coming to him. I don't know, but he is the car to beat right now as we almost approach lap 50.
Let's get hypothetical here. I know it's early on, lap 47. He wins. What does this look like for the championship hunt? Heading in, he's a championship contender nonetheless. Back there in what? The 5th, 6th, 7th spot? Right now, a big win here. Easily jumps him up to 3rd.
Well, you look at the way that Mosteller's still running pretty well.
He just went to 2nd.
Yeah, he's up to 2nd. So it wouldn't be the max points benefit for him, but he'd probably be, instead of 31 back, closer to, say, 21, 22 back.
Yeah, I see Mubik going on the inside of Wyatt Tinsley, so this is a shuffle. The real question is the sectors. Let's look on the bottom of your screen. Who's faster where? We keep an eye on Thurston. Mostello was faster in Sector 1 last time by, so in Sector 2 trying to find his way around Tinsley. This is a difference, though. That wheel makes him a little bit slower in Sector 1 to begin with. We continue to keep an eye on it. 7-2 back. A little bit of an issue back towards the rear. That was Cottle, Burns, Vila up the 4th. But the real question now is Sector 3, or Sector 2, should I say, through 3 and 4, 1/6 the difference. I don't think Mostello's going to gain here at all.
That was daring on the bottom, some issues in the back, no caution whatsoever. But Thurston just keeps pulling away. These guys are fighting each other, and it's letting the 14 get away even more.
Mubik up near the outside wall. That opens daylight for Abraham Vila. Back to the inside. Won't happen at all as Vila slams the outside wall. It's back nose to tail. Still no deuce. Now the battle is back for second as they work their way through 3 and 4.
Vila looks to have a very strong car, getting stronger as the run goes on. Now he's stuck right behind Mubik in 4th. Mubik looking a little high, but he doesn't have the momentum.
Working lap 50 out of 267. We continue to watch on NR Night in America, feeling victories all year long. Braden Mubik up near the outside wall. Mosteller looking to park it right between them. That's Vila on the inside lane. Mubik to the inside with a shot nonetheless. This is wheel to wheel for the P2 spot.
He looks low. He has the nose for the moment, but Demos has that top side. He's going to get a run, but it's clear. Mubik to second.
Yeah, he got him right there. Now the question is, can he catch Thurston already without missing a beat? 1.73 the difference. 1.72 the difference was looking. It's back wheel to wheel again. Mosteller right back to the inside.
But he pinches him down, keeping him behind him on the backstretch. A little loose, but still single file.
Lane Sanders, next lap machine, that's up in front. You're James Thurston, you're out way in front of the drivers behind. Mummy having to park it back down the inside as they work their way back through 3 and 4.
And Vila gets to run up top. He's going to look on top over Mosteller. Has the nose there. Gets behind to the lap car.
Demos down to the inside. Mummy back to the outside. Vila still lined up nose to tail down that inside lane. He's worked back to that rear end. Tinsley continues to fade back to 5th. 52 out of 267.
Single file, though, between those three. They're right with each other, but Thurston just keeps pulling away. Cadell looking underneath Tinsley, trying to get to the top 5.
Yeah, this is a surprise to me. I thought Tinsley was going to have that magical number to find a way to stay up front, live up front, but now he went the highest to 2nd, has dropped back to 5th. Now, the other thing I want to point out is he was the biggest mover of the night so far, up 10 spots at one point. This is where the tire effect starts coming to effect this time as he got Vila back to the outside looking for the 9.
He looks high, but he doesn't have it for now. Right on the bumper of the 9 car. Entering into 3 and 4, looks high again.
Yeah, he's going to try to get to that corner panel. You can see Mosteller having to park it back down that inside. Vila right around the outside. Easy in, easy out. He's in the wall, but is still able to go ahead and clear on the 9 machine.
Next night, still up in 3rd, now looking underneath that Miami Vice car.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, but the question is, how has nobody still been able to catch James Thurston? It's the new strategy under the lights to go fast and hard. And hope you hold on to it because so far that 14 looks unfazed whatsoever. Cottle up the 5th, not surprised. Burns up the 7th, not surprised. He's still up front. Mavik's using every inch of this track. He's back to the outside.
And there's still double file, and this is what Thurston wants to see. That lead over 2 seconds now as the top 2 to 6, give or take, keep fighting each other.
Well, we're going to keep an eye on this top 13. We know that's correct on the board, but with a lot of shuffling going around towards the rear of this pack, we don't have a clear consecutive look at it. But how about some drivers we haven't talked about yet that either A, need a yellow, or B, just need a good shot at winning this race? That's the 94 of Kevin Champagne. He's working his way back down the backstretch. Joey Stone, have a nice Sweet 16 for yourself. Behind, though, Baker 14th, Wilkerson up to 17th. Blake McCandless, we know he can win. He just needs that yellow to fly to have a restart. He's up to 17th.
Well, Blake is up 23 spots from the start, and then you have Kevin Champagne. He's up 22. These guys are going to have a say in the win as long as they keep their stuff under them.
That's the big thing, too, we talk about with Charlotte. It's not like Darlington where you say, hey, first 50 laps, these are the guys that have the best shot at winning. Something happens to go ahead and throw a wrench in the plans, and you can look at some new guys. 56 laps into a long green flag run. What do we already see? Pit stops being made, drivers coming in and out. Another thing we want to point out, everyone still's got a shot as long as they can stay on the lead lap.
Yeah, and we're going to start seeing more guys get lapped, but like we said, tight skill gap between everyone in the field, so it's going to be difficult to pass these lap cars, even if they're running 30th.
Mavic back to 3rd, Mosteller back to 4th, Connell back there in 5th. We continue to keep an eye on that as pit road starts to go ahead and come together. TCB back there in 14th. He's lined up and he may have a little bit of sparking issue from in front of him. They look to go ahead and be Matthew Brower. No issues there. Spencer Burns is on pit road. While Tyler Tinsley's on pit road. Dale Greenwood on pit road. Lane Sanders and more as we get ready for green flag stops for the first time today.
And we're going to see a lot of shuffling now, just like Darlington. It's difficult to get on this pit lane. Somebody speeds entering. You might, because we've seen it go green so far, you might lose your race this early simply from one mistake.
Abraham Vila 2 seconds back. Now he's the new driver in the Catbird seat. We haven't seen a lot of passing for the lead. We've seen a lot of passing for 2nd, 3rd, 4th. How about all the way back to 5th for sure? Nonetheless, these guys have got it really made. The question is also for James Thurston. Don't screw up coming to pit road. We've seen it multiple times by the leaders. You're out 2 seconds. You're going to come in. You can afford to lose a second nonetheless.
Well, when do you pit? Because once one of them jumps onto pit road, I got to think the rest follow.
I think they're going to try to overcut each other. This is where the mind games come in. You know, if you're the first one to pit, you got an opportunity if the caution comes out. But you got to look at this. Garage Guys 499 at Talladega. We had back-to-back green flag stops. We only had 3 before the first caution. Whoa. Tonight, 60 laps in, 400-mile race. This could be the first green flag stop. It could also be the second one if we don't get a yellow.
Well, it reminds me, too, of the 2011 Ford 400 we put on, where The start of this race, we thought they were going to crash. We thought they were going to have issues. And they run, what, 200 laps under green? This could happen tonight. This very well could happen tonight. So this first stop, huge when it comes to surviving.
What's great about this too, if you're new, we don't have stages, so we don't have time cautions to rack this field up. Speed depends on your skill and your setup. And right now, you can see it right now. Thurston under fire with lap machines. Vila finding his way around Joyner. One caution can randomly come out and change this entire game, or we go green for the first ever eTicket event to go green without an issue.
Well, and this is the difference here between fresh tires and over 60 lap tires. They're going to pit any moment now, but you're seeing these lap cars make time up.
It's going to be a lot of fun to see. We may have just lost James Thurston because he's on pit road. He pit before everyone else. Uh-oh, I don't think he played the strategy right. We talked about tires and tires and tires. He was out to 2 seconds. This just opened the door up for Abraham Vila.
But if they all fly onto pit road right after this, he will have fresher tires to gain more on this lead. Now, he might lose it through the run, but we saw something similar to this when we did have that Homestead event.
Yeah, well, how about this? Abraham Vila just put him a lap down, and Thurston would get a wave around if we did get the caution flag to go out. But now the battle for the lead was within a second.
Oh, Debo!
Big slide off corner exit. Connell slides as well. That's Tyler Glass in the wall.
And here comes Burrows 3 wide through him, survives it, doesn't get hit. So a lot of damage to that 99 car.
And not the season he's won. I still think he can have a breakout in the second half nonetheless, but Tyler Glass just absolutely slammed the outside wall. Burrows looking for a way through. The only thing is, if you're James Thurston, you pit early, we get a long green flag run again, you're going to get past and you may go on provisional lead, but I think Abraham Vila could cycle out the race leader.
He could, he very well could, but how much time you're going to make up when you have this fresh of tires versus these old of tires? It might be a bigger gap than you're able to make up even over a run.
Baker is in, Cootie is in, Vila now in, and here comes the herd. Mosteller, don't speed!
Cadell.
I don't know about that deuce. I think Connell definitely sped on pit road. We're going to keep an eye on that. He was in a different gear. Wyatt Tinsley is in. Who's staying out? Definitely trying to lead a lap. Giles, Goen. I think Goen's got to stay out one more. He's got a shot at winning this championship, lead a lap, nonetheless.
He definitely needs to stay out. You got New Bigging out there. He could get a point too. Now it's about just getting off of pit road, not having some dumb mistake, and we're going to find out, did that to speed.
Armstrong is in. That also looks to be William Schmidt in. How about the 8 machine? Greenwood working his way forward. Gary Owen, did you come to pit road? We're going to find out here in just a moment as we look around this racetrack. Tanhart still on the racing surface. That's going to be the 20 of Armstrong off and away. And yes, Gary Owen has now led a lap. I'm telling you, underdog opportunity for the 5.
Yeah, he still has 45 points to make up. That's a lot, but he's good here, good at Talladega, good strategy, and if there's a caution right now, this flips everything.
Joey Stone, new scheme for the nighttime. He's got that ice white working his way through 3 and 4. He's another one. Back there in 5th, kind of just either A looking for a yellow or a long green flag run. Kroenke is in as well. Wheel to wheel behind. Cottle found his way around Mosteller.
Yep, and that's really big for the night too. But you see these guys who stayed out. You got Goen, you have New Bigging, Brower, Stone, McCandless. So this is a big strategy play. Just seeing if they might be able to get a caution.
Blake McCandless staying out as well. You saw Cottle. He wasn't just hard on the brakes. The rotor started glowing down to the inside. Really had to go ahead and hold on to that one for a quick 3-wide move. That's going to be Abraham Vila getting loose off corner exit right now. I don't say he's provisional lead. It's still James Thurston out in front of him. Third-Quiz is out there. Wyatt Tinsley as well. Great strategy out of the 11. But right now, Goen, Brower, McCandless, these are guys either A, looking for a yellow, B, looking to stay as long as they can because another long green flag run. What does it bring? The opportunity to get a big run late. And that means another opportunity for a caution to come out the next green flag cycle.
Well, we're starting to see that cycling. You got New Bigging down pit road. You got Goen down pit road from the lead. Now it gives it to McCandless in that Skull Bandit 33.
Interesting, interesting, interesting. Nonetheless, we continue to look. I do not see the 2 of Cottle. Yes, he's back there at 14. Looks like he did not get caught for speeding. He must have been very close. I mean,
yeah.
That's maybe I'm talking like less than a mile for sure.
But look at the time he made up, though. I don't know how he did it, but he's ahead of Mosteller now.
Yeah, that's a big thing too. Keep an eye on him. He knows how to get to victory lane here, and that's why I love this car track combo. So many guys figure out how to go to victory lane here, and it's all in different ways. There's not one script, not one strategy you can follow to win here. There's nothing to look at. Wyatt Tinsley, provisional P3, P2. He's under fire from Vila.
John, I'm just thinking, making it 69, 70 laps out on fuel, you may be able to make this, if it goes green, on a 3-stop race versus everyone else that pitted being on a 4-stop race.
Ooh.
So early on, keep an eye on that. Plenty of time.
Have a strategy.
But Blake McCandless and Joey Stone, if it goes green all the way, have probably the biggest brain move of the series.
That's big, and we've come so close to getting races that go green all the way. One hot night for one hot strategy? I don't know, man. It's going to be pretty big to see. If Joey Stone can walk off a win here with making a 3-stop instead of a 4-stop, that's huge. And for every viewer watching, right now, I don't think you want to see a caution.
I don't want to see a caution because you're seeing the way that they race differently. Some drivers fast at the start, others long run, others strategy. The difference in mentality is what's making this race really fun.
Gonna be a lot of fun to see. That's the 38, Justin Champagne parking it in front of Wyatt Tinsley. Tinsley's gonna go ahead and make that crack work. That goes Burns to the top of the board. That's Schmeeker back to second, Mubik into third, and James Thurston. Those woes start early on as he's all the way back to that 4th position.
Well, Vila right now tracking behind Tinsley, 7th and 8th on the track as we go. Burns leading by just a little bit. You see Cootie beside the 48. A lot of racing going on.
Dominguez up to 6th. This looks Andrew Cootie. There with the 48, a Thornquist. Cootie was set 1 lap down. Up in front of him, Mubik under fire. That's Thurston right behind. He's looking for a way around. Spencer Burns, this is a battle for the lead.
Yeah, Thurston up to 3rd, making his way through right behind Mubik. Ooh, that was close.
Yeah, you can see Schmeeker dropping back as well. You got 4, maybe 5 guys under a blanket. Continue to watch that Mubik nearly up into the outside wall. That's the 14 of Thornquist. Lined up, or Thurston, should we say, lined up down the bottom back there in 3rd. Burns, your leader. Dominguez back to 6th. Tinsley back to 7th. Vila rounding out that top 8.
And you're watching about a second between those top 4. That's the ones that are in contention. We talked about Thornquist in 5th. Dominguez managing to stay up there.
74 out of 267. 26 the difference. Spencer Burns looking for his 2nd win on the season. Now 81% said we're going to see a first-time winner. Mubik has won. Burns has won. Thurston has won. That's your top 3. Schmeeker, Thornquist, and might as well say the rest of them have all not gone to victory lane as we work our way down the back into the 3 and 4.
Braden Mubik is stalking that 06 car. And for those of you who don't know at home, he has led 256 laps this year, more than anybody else in the field. So having that 42 out front is not unfamiliar.
And continue to watch this. Schmidt under fire as well. That's Devin Schmeeker lined up behind. He didn't have the strategy to start. Gary Owen back in 11th. He's lined up. That looks Jacob Wilkerson with an opportunity. Wyatt Tinsley, he's under fire from the 1.
And the 1 is right there, less than a car length, half a car length. It's looking like the 1 is turning it on while the 11 is starting to fall a little back.
Yeah, not what Wyatt Tinsley wants to see, but what Mubik wants to see, a battle for the lead. Here they come. Big slide through the AstroTurf, trying to hold on to it as they work their way back to the outside. That's Thurston with an edge.
And they've ran away from the 32. A 3-car battle for the lead. Thurston looking high, door shut on him.
Burns had to slam it top to the outside lane. That's Mubik giving no space to the 14. Back wheel to wheel. Thurston, what a try to the bottom. He jumps it to the lead. Back through 3 and 4.
He's not clear yet, though. Burns up top. Now it depends on who Mubik goes with.
Top, bottom, middle, find a groove that works for you. Burns is going to slam the door on the Chevrolet again, but Mubik still lined up on that outside lane. They still hold that wheel to wheel. Burns downstairs, Mubik on the outside, wanting another drive off corner exit. Do you get it? The answer so far is still maybe yes, because Mubik's not even going to clear the 14 back through 3.
And Mubik trying to hook up that high side to 99 in glass. Lap car in front of him has to dive low.
And see out of the way nonetheless. See Burns finding his way through. Mubik top, bottom, middle. Schmidt right there. He wants to get that lap back. He's lined up right with the 14.
Oh, and it looks like he has the speed to do so, but Mubik goes to the lead, clearing Burns.
Spencer Burns are going to hold on back on that quarter panel. Can he do it? The answer is no, but opens daylight for Thurston on the inside. Contact. Battle for second. Thurston back to the second place spot. Burns back there in third. 4 drivers lined up through 3 and 4.
Making it to the finish line, though. Mubbick getting a bonus point for leading a lap. He needs it for the title, but Thurston looks high, doesn't want him to lead more.
Yeah, he's looking all over that rear end. He's going to look back to the inside. Mubbick having to park it in front of the 14. Still holding it near that blue line. Burns wants another shot. 3 drivers under a blanket working lap 79.
Well, and Schmidt's jumping in the middle of this. He wants to get his lap back. Down low, Thurston trying to get the lead. 79 now ahead of the 06. 4 cars, 3 on the lead lap.
Thurquist back to 4th. Schmeeker back to 5th. Tanhart in a bubble of his zone. You continue to watch that on, but we watch the battle for the lead. This is Thurston back to the outside. This is Thurston back to the point. He needs a drive off corner exit. He's definitely going to get it. It's back wheel to wheel as they work their way off 2.
Contact between the Burger King car and McDonald's. Fast Food Wars goes to the 14.
And it's a big move downstairs. See Thurston parking it once again. How about that? Both fast food chains have won already this season, and they're working 1-2. Lap 80 out of 267. Mubbick's still trying to get that fight, but Thurston said, hey, you thought I was going to go away with that strategy? How about not? Back top of the board through 1 and 2.
And he's pulling away 2/10, quarter of a second now. 14 pulling away from the 42.
A lot of racing fun. Lap 81 out of 267. This was just flown on by as Mubbick is 18 back. Spencer Burns kind of in his own zip code back there in 3rd. Thornquist back to 4th. Cootie looking right back to run of him, but Abraham Vilas found his way through 5 seconds back and closing on your race leaders.
Well, we're seeing how the strategies are playing out. We're seeing how it's separated the field. Now we're closing in on about the top 20 only being on the lead lap. Now Schmidt looks right behind the 42, trying to get that lap back. He has to pass these guys if he's able to do so.
Going to be a lot of fun to see as this race continues on. Schmidt really just watching on, can't really find a way through, and he's thirsting to burn the tires up for Mubbick to try another wheel to wheel. The thing is, he may get it because Mubbick with a big drive back down to a 7.
He looks high now, the 14 low, has a nose.
Looking, peeking, battle for the lead again. Thurston looking to drive it, trying to park in front of the Chevrolet. 1-2, lined up nose to tail. Burns is fading. Thurston looking to pull away. Mubbick still down with an 11.
But don't forget, that 79, he doesn't care about their battle for the lead. There are obstacles for him getting on the lead lap, so now a bit of a gap that might be good for all 3 of them.
See William Schmidt looking right back to the rear there of Braden Mubbick. He may give him a shot from behind. Very much does as 13's back to the gap. It's still Thurston parking it down that inside lane, but who's on the move? Wyatt Tinsley found his way around Abraham Vila. 84 laps in this race and we're still green.
And there's no sign yet of a caution. They're racing aggressively. They're trying, but nothing yet.
Looking all the way back from behind, Cottle back there in 7th. Devin Schmeeker back to 8th. Back to 10th, Dominguez, Giles, Wilkerson, Joey Stone, Baker. They've all kind of lined up and still looking for an opportunity to win. But we keep an eye on what's going on for the lead. Mubbick has worked his way all the way to the outside lane. His goal, drive off corner exit.
Well, but he lost a lot of time, and the 79 of Schmidt's between them. Now, if you're going to get the lead, you got to go through the lap car.
I think Schmidt's going to hand it right now to the 14 as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if Thurston loses time as Mubbick's back to a 3.5, 3.6. Schmidt to the rear, top, bottom, Alexi outside lane, and that Toyota's going to give it to him. Thornquist under a 4. Tinsley's closed in as well. More machines looking to try to get something. There may be a problem with the one machine, maybe not. That's right now Abraham Vila back there in 6. He's lined up still with Justin Champagne, who's another one down.
Well, and looking at some of these guys who have fallen back. You look at Burns, he's almost 2 seconds back. Thornquist is about 4 seconds with Tinsley right now. So, right as we're speaking, the fight for the win is between Burger King and McDonald's.
Yeah, that's the big thing too. We still have to talk about this strategy. If this goes green all the way, 3 stop, 4 stop, some of these guys up front may be looking for, hey, I think I need a caution for best case scenario. You're Joey Stone, 26 seconds back. Please go green, but don't lose too much time to your leaders.
Well, same with Blake McCandless in 15th. He has the same strategy as that 6 car.
6 the difference between 1st and 2nd. New Biggin back to 8, Max Swearigan, who is looking forward to this race. So far, it might be going under fire if we're going a lap down. Thurston lined up, and he's got a horde of machines right in front of him.
Yes, he does, but side by side in front of him, the 15 and 79, that 15 is no match.
Surprise out of that 62 machine. Anthony Burrows has not been seen up front long. He's lined up with the lap machines to the inside, just outside that top 20 with Dale Greenway. You can see he's struggling with that rear end.
A lot of these guys early on were hot lap heroes, but right now, going on the long run, the 14 and the 42 are almost unbeatable. The 14 is now a second ahead. Thurston may have this race if all goes right.
And it's hard to predict that. That's the big thing got to keep an eye on, as that's the 29 lane. Sanders in the outside wall. Thurston back down to the inside, trying to hold that wheel to wheel. As we continue our way back down the backstretch, Mavic is out of here. 1-2 the difference. Thurston down the inside lane. This may be his race.
Well, Tinsley's starting to make up time, just over 4 seconds back, slowly cutting into that lead, but you know, with this gap built up so far, and with them almost at 100 laps already, it's going to be really hard to make up.
I'm really curious to see how this goes on, because we're going to get another green flag run here soon. Around lap 50 to 65, you saw guys come in. We're working lap 90, so big opportunity to have another shot at it, but my only fear is if you're the race leader, you got lap machines lined up in front of you, and these guys have been struggling. Yes, Schmidt back on the lead lap, but at the same time, you don't want to go ahead and really race these guys too hard because they can't make a mistake.
Well, I don't know about you, John, but if I'm Thurston, I want to be ahead of that 79 because he's shown speed that can keep up with these leaders. He's kept the 14 behind him faster than the 42, so I would want to lap the 79 as quick as possible.
I agree, definitely, but you can see Schmidt's going to be fighting for that as well. He hasn't won once this season, and an e-ticket event winner, you want to go to victory lane. The only thing is, who's under fire next? Thornquist, Vila, Tinsley, 4th, 5th, and 6th have all lined up, and they have closed in on your race leader.
They have a little bit. They're going to have to get past Burns. Burns is closing too. But a lot of that, I think, has to do with lap traffic. I mean, that lap traffic is not being easy on that 14.
That's the Deuce back to 7th, Mosteller back to 8th, Giles, Kevin Champagne as well, back to 10th, Devin Schmeeker to 11th. They've all lined in. Baker's still up there in 14th. Tanhart back to that 18th position. We continue to ride along. But you look at Braden Movick, 1-5 back, one idea, work the strategy right and bring it back to the 14. James Thurston right to the rear end there of the 79.
Well, you got to think, too, that even if this strategy works for the 33 and the 6, they're about a lap down. Thurston realistically could win this race on more than three, I should say, stops. On this one, 4 stops, he could beat guys with 3 stops purely off speed.
1-6 for the difference. Braden Movick, Spencer Burns still in 2nd. We watch the shuffle from behind. That's Abraham Vila still in 5th. Oh, Sanders!
There he goes! He's around.
Right on the front straightaway. Caution is going to wave. And on lap 94, this is going to change everything.
Caution number 1 already. And who's left on the lead lap? That's the question now.
Uh-oh, I don't think Max is too happy. He's closing. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
He's hit him.
1 hot 9, and he's going to go in and show his temper. First caution is out. We knew Sanders was struggling. I think he's going to pay the favor. He's going to go right back to the rear end.
Well, we might need to stand these guys for a little bit. They're pretty interesting, but I think there's a tire down or some problem on that 29. But driver of the mystery machine, not too happy.
Caution is out, working lap 94. We're now on 95. Max Swearigan, the 29. Go around, and we're going to have an interesting restart working lap 95.
Well, and at this point, you've probably taken out all but 20, 25 cars now in the lead lap. So you got past the first stage of it, survival. You survived, you stayed on the lead lap. Now from there, how do you beat the 14?
Let's watch this again. Him and Sanders were going at it. This is a replay. Ooh, Burns. He got involved in that one as well.
He had a little contact with 29. He gets past. It looks like he's going to get past him.
Yeah, he wanted to get out of Dodge quick. He knew trouble was brewing. And it very much did down a corner exit. Oh, ooh. That looks like Swearigan's fault.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to give a little bit of the favor for that incidental contact. Luckily, they didn't take anyone out with them, it looked like.
Let's go ahead and watch it again. We talked about turn 4. From this angle, you can really see it. Look at the transition from the high banks down on the straight. And, ooh, I think he just lost the rear end. And from the car, it's very hard to tell when you're that close together whose fault it truly is. But
Ooh, watch the 29. I think he got into Justin a little.
Yeah, I think Justin's going to be okay. I don't see a lot of damage out of that.
Wow, how close can you get with Wyatt Tinsley?
Abraham Vila finding his way through. And second we saw him cut down here, nearly took out Thornquist. We knew it was going to have to go ahead and fly. And just like that, we're under the yellow for the first time.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky that we didn't get all of the leaders that were up there with them caught up.
Well, we get to shuffle it again. For the first time tonight, should we say. Thurston, Burns, Vila, and Champagne is your fast four. You got Giles, Mosteller, and Schmeeker as your top 7. Wilkerson, Dominguez running out your top 9. Baker top 10, and Gowen's going to be stuck in traffic back to 11th.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes up when it comes to how they race against each other for the lead, but at this point, I still think it's, especially with strategy, at least the initial strategy out of it, it's Thurston's race to lose.
This is going to be interesting. I want to keep an eye on that one. We know he can get very fast, very electric. We're going to continue to watch him. He's looking to be another driver that is on the thumbnail to go to victory lane. We saw it by Andrew Cootie. And right now, it's looking like a big opportunity for, what, Vila to be the second driver to get it done?
Well, looking 4th and 5th, you got Kevin Champagne and you got Daniel Mosteller. Those two are going to be really strong as well.
Well, we're going to get the one to go here shortly, and as you say that, we get what looks to be the one to go now, just to cycle these guys back around, and then we're going to put the lights back on just so we can go ahead and get ready to roll.
Justin Champagne, Andrew Cootie, and Skipper now, those are the 3 getting the wave around. They're not going to pit this time, so they're going to hope for a quick caution.
It's going to be a lot of fun to see. Thurston, Burns, and we will get the one to go here so those drivers don't come down pit road and have an advantage. We'll keep an eye on that as we get ready to go green once again. 97 out of 267.
We got a few new characters up towards the front. Wilkerson, he looks to be up there. Giles is up there. Dominguez, top 10 in that 88 car. So, new characters up towards the front. Some of the others that were up front, a little further back now.
Chevy Ford row 1, Chevy Ford row 2. As we get ready to try it again.
So, about another 100-lap run here, right?
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you're looking at it, you're coming down to the area where it's like, hey, you got the car to win, well, let's go ahead and prove it. Steinmeier back there in 12th, you got to show something.
You got some guys really close together, though, too, and you could have one of those big outbreaks of yellows.
Let's get ready to try it again. Thurston, Burns, Vila, Champagne, fast four. Grab a gear just one more time as we're green from Charlotte. Big drive down to 1 and 2. Vila lined up back down that inside. You saw Mosteller pulling that wheel to wheel. That's Burns around the outside lane. Look at the drive back down off corner exit. Still wheel to wheel as they work their way through 3.
Once again, the bottom lane's the way to go. Crash in the back. That's Wyatt Tinsley, and Burrows, I think, is in it too. TCB down low. Are we going to stay green, though?
What a save. No, they didn't hit a thing. We stayed green.
No, Tinsley was spinning like a top.
May have to look back on that. They're not going to throw it. We will stay green. We'll look for Wyatt Tinsley. Vila up the second. Thurston, your race leader. Now you look at us, the tennis skipper down below. We don't see him anywhere on this racetrack. They've all found their way through. We stay green.
Stay green, but that's going to be huge for the night. The 11 had a lot of damage.
42 of Mudvik down to the inside. Kroenke on the outside lane. Matt Steinmeier is lined up. He may have gone ahead and exited the track. We're going to have to see maybe just a quick blink out. The only thing is, forget that for now. We got a battle for the lead. 10 the difference. Abraham Vila.
Vila looking low, but Thurston still keeps him down. He's about half a lane up at the moment, but keeping it on Vila.
Burns on the outside lane looking for a drive off corner exit. He's going to be able to get it here on the 9 of Mosteller. Giles back to 5th. Champagne back to 6th. Schmeeker, Dominguez top 8 as they work 3 and 4.
And you're looking at Mosteller trying to get up towards the front, right on the back of the 06. Vila quickly coming up on that 14. It's a matter of where he passes.
Yeah, he's going to be looking for a way around nonetheless. Burns Ryan the tire tracks back down to the inside. Mosteller sticking it downstairs and starting to see a trend. Fresh tires stay low. Once you get the warm ones, start moving to lane 2, lane 3, all the way up to the outside lane. So far, it looks to be 8 machines under a second as they work their way through 3 and 4.
And the side-by-side battle, the first one at least, it looks to be Steinmeier and Dominguez, 88 versus 23 up top. The 43 and the 42 fight as well.
Schmidt back to 16, McCandless up to 15th, Wilkerson to 10th, Dominguez to 9th. You still got Schmeeker, still got Champagne. Giles up to 5th if you're Abraham Beal. You got to slam the door on all sides because Burns is looking for a way around. Top, bottom, the best option is downstairs. That 4 drives it in deep, still no deuce.
And a little gap built up by the 14. That number 1 car is 2/10 back. He has Burns right on him. Demos there. It looks like the top 7 under a blanket.
103 out of 267. Mosteller still looking back down that inside. Giles looking to the outside. Champagne sparks it right back down that bottom lane. Schmeeker, Dominguez, top 8. 103 out of 267.
And now the fight is for 7th. Schmeeker looking to block. He shuts the door on Dominguez. Mubik there, a bit of a chain reaction.
Tyler Glass on pit road out of the way. We stay green. Vila, 2 back. Burns, 3 back. Mosteller, 4 back. They've all lined up. They're working their way back to 1 and 2. Kevin Champagne with the shot to the inside as Giles on the outside lane. Maybe an overtake, maybe not. Back nose to tail.
And Schmeeker right on his bumper. Now the 9 down low under Burns. Mosteller in the 06 side by side.
Demos down low. Burns on the outside lane. The question is, can the 9 drive it in deep to hold on? He does. Burns will need to drive off corner exit. Will he get it? Maybe, maybe not. Still dead, even with some contact. The 9 has to save it. Burns rallies back to 1.
And that 26 car almost shot the middle. 3 wide behind him, some contact, but they keep it straight.
Kevin Champagne on the outside lane. That's Braden Mubik. Back down the inside. Still that wheel of Fords running the outside perimeter. It's Giles there in the Toyota. It's Champagne looking back to the bottom. All wheel to wheel as they work their way through 3.
He had the position, couldn't keep the bottom. Now Mubik trying to stay right up on him, but they're still side by side, loose off.
Kevin Champagne had to hold on to it. It's Mubik on that outside lane that's going to hold on to it nonetheless. He's going to clear his way back down to the inside of 1 and 2. Giles, Mosteller, Burns up to 3rd. Vila has closed into a 2-9.
That was Brower in the grass in the back, but no mind, no caution. Side by side now, it looks like Kevin Champagne is starting to fall back.
Giles on the outside, once again a fill-in for Molina. He's wheel to wheel there at the 42 of Mubik. He's once again looking for a drive-off corner exit. The 9 of Mosteller. The 5th place machine, still Braden Mubik. Champagne, Dominguez, Wilkerson, top 10, back into 1 and 2. All chasing the driver of the 14.
But they've reeled him back in. They're not letting him get away like last time. 2/10 still the difference as you see those wave around cars. Mubik down low.
Yeah, he worked his way all the way down the inside. I don't know what that was about, but it looks like he's able to collect it, so we do hold on. Dominguez up to 7th. Champagne back to 6th. Vila under fire. That's Burns to the bottom. Chevy versus Ford, battle for 2nd.
They're keeping it close, but they're 3/10 now back from Thurston. Thurston's starting to pull away. This is what he wants to see. Burns now to 2nd.
Yeah, very easy in, very easy out. The only thing is this wheel-to-wheel action for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th is why Thurston was able to get away to begin with. Black machines lined up in front. Kevin Champagne to the inside. Looking for another wheel-to-wheel action. Won't get it just yet. They work their way through 3.
Shuts the door on him now. The battle there, 6th and 7th. The 88 starts going up high a little bit, but he gets to run off.
109 down at 267. Wilkerson to 10th. Steinmeier to 11th. Gary Owen back to 12th. Kroenke, Jeffries, McCandless, Connell. That's the Sweet 16. Everybody still has been chasing that 14 tonight. Very few have been able to catch them.
Well, the interesting part will be, again, lap traffic. We had lap traffic before, but not with everyone together. These are the guys who took the wave around, the guys in the caution. So the way the 14 gets through here will probably set the tone of the run.
32, Schmeeker on the outside, looking for an opportunity. That's on Wilkerson. 9th and 10th, they've all lined up nose to tail. But you still see Kevin Champagne looking for a way through. Wilkerson works his way to 9th. Burns half a second for the lead. Giles, Dominguez, Champagne, 6th, 7th, Mubik back to 8th.
Still single file for the most part, though, up front, all the way back you see. And the 06 of Burns putting some space ahead of Vila, trying to catch that 14.
And they've got lap machines in front that are going to go out and play a toll. You saw the 14 of Thurston on the outside of the 10. That was Matt Skipper. They've nose to tail lined up. Sanders lined in as well as it's a 9 downstairs. It's Giles downstairs. Kevin Champagne, a shot to the rear end of the Trojan 88. Nose to tail back down off corner exit.
McDonald side by side now behind the 88. Mubbick and Champagne, they can't get away from each other, but Mubbick clears him. Looks low under the 88. What a move.
Yeah, he got a lot of forward momentum nonetheless, and he's able to hold that wheel to wheel. In front, though, Giles, still the 9 of Mosteller. Vila underneath Sanders. Sanders has been going lap down after lap down. The only thing is, Burns, 4-6 the difference. He's trying to rally back to the 14 as that Skipper working to try to get his lap back. Nearly took him out.
Well, and he's looking low now. It's honestly impressive. Keeping up with the 14, at least for a short time, is impressive for anyone tonight. That's Andrew Cootie, the 8th place man in points. Next up, go lap down.
He's got a lot of damage on that nose. We haven't seen an incident from him yet, but he's up into that outside wall. Wheel to wheel, that's Kevin Champagne. Dominguez way in the back. Burns 2-7 the difference. He's closing the gap to your race leader. He's trying to hunt him down back into 1.
Oh, Skipper gets into the back of the 14. He gets loose. That's going to be really interesting. See if he can get down to the bottom.
Yeah, he's got the speed to get his lap back. That's what he's going to go for right here. He knows Burns is right there as well. This could be the battle for the lead as Skipper still tries to run right to the tire track to the 14. Looks half a click high. Looks half a click low. Still nowhere to go. Lap 114 out of 267.
But now the 06 looks low on the 10. This might seal him being a lap down because Burns down right behind Thurston.
Skipper on the outside, having to pump the brakes. He knows the battle is over for now, but he's going to slam it right on Abraham Vila. Mosteller to the outside, looking for an opportunity. Can't get it done as Vila goes back downstairs.
And Vila trying to keep pace with these top 2. He fell away before. Mosteller the same thing. Top 4 trying to fight for the win.
Chevy, Ford, Chevy, back to Chevy and Toyota. Giles back to 5th, Mubbick in 6th, Champagne back to 7th. They all rally back down into 1 and 2. If you're Burns, you're in 2nd, you're loving it. You're Vila, you're in 3rd, you're loving it as well. Giles, Mubbick, Champagne, Dominguez, who's outside that top 12. That's got a shot. McCandless, Owen, and Jeffries all looking for a way forward.
We're starting to see people fall in now. We got through the short run, into the medium run. You look up high, that's Kevin Champagne. Has somebody under fire, that's Dominguez under him. Wilkerson jumping up to the 8th spot.
Burns 3 back, Vila 5 back, Mosteller 4 back, Giles back there in 5th. Thurston has lost more speed to the center of the corner than he wanted to because Burns continues to get the drive back down off corner exit. 5 back, 4 back. That's with the 2 out in front. They work their way back to 3 and the battle's back to the 06.
It is, and it's only about a quarter second. 3/10 now between them for 1st and 2nd, but you keep it close. Those lap cars have kept the lead getting closer every time they get in.
Another one that's cut that gap. That's Abraham Vila back down to a 5-4, 5-5. Now maybe back to a 6. This is Mosteller right behind him. Giles, Mubbick, Wilkerson, Dominguez outside that top 8, looking, peeking. The only thing is, if you're the 14, you're back under fire. Lap machines in front, big shuffle from behind. That's Kroenke to the inside of the 32.
And that's Steinmeier behind him. You got Skipper the lap car, and Gary Owen following.
All looking for a way through. Giles the 5th, Mubbick the 6th, lined up and loaded. Burns down to a 4. Burns looking for a 3. He lost time on your race leader. The only thing is, Thurston's back under fire. That's Justin Champagne going 1 down. Can he hold on? He's got lap machines in between the 06.
2 lap machines between 1st and 2nd. Burns has to get past these guys quick to keep up.
Mubbick back to 6, maybe under fire again. Kevin Champagne lined up behind. Jacob Wilkerson lined up behind. If you're still the 15 of Swaggy, you're stuck on the outside lane. Here comes Burns with a drive there on Champagne. Ford on forward, back to 1 and 2.
And up high, Burns trying to get past Champagne. Still less than half a second between he and the leader, and now he has clear racetrack.
Lined up nose to tail. Vila back to 3rd, Giles back to 5th. Wilkerson looking for a way through. Max Swearengin having to hold on to that one. Puts it below that blue line, and he's going to drop back even farther. Right now, just looking for a great points day and possibly a couple cautions to come back to get back on the lead lap. Trading paint from behind, Skipper and Cottle. McCandless still lined up in, working lap 120. When do we see green flag stops?
Well, we'll probably see him about 30 laps. We're about halfway through a green flag run as it goes now. So we're starting to see the comers and goers of the long run. This is when you have to start thinking, when do I pit? Who do I try and beat? Stuff like that. I mean, you're looking at some of these guys that are coming up through the pack, like Steinmeier, McCandless. They're starting to make their way up. So interesting strategies and maybe a flip.
Burns still 4 back. We got wheel to wheel. That's the 43 of Wilkerson to the inside. That's still Kroenke right behind as well. Giles way up near the outside wall. He's still trying to get that runoff corner exit. Can Muddick slam the door? That's the new question. He does to the outside. Toyota with an opportunity to the inside. Still locked up. Working 1-2-1 out of 267.
Now Wilkerson looks low as the 26 stays high. He fights down to the bottom, pulls even, a little contact, maybe no.
Now you gotta watch out, almost had a big hit to that outside wall. Burns has not left the real 3 to 4 gap to your leader. Kind of just settled in, same with Vila, because I think they know they can get a big opportunity on a long green flag run.
They can, but Thurston also has been shown to be strong on these long green flag runs. So they got to keep in pace with him if they have any chance.
Now let's keep an eye on this one. Let's say we get a caution in the next 10, 20 or so laps. We could have a fuel lottery in this race. So we're going to continue to watch out for that one. Look out for what could be a possibility as Jeffries works on Skipper all the way back to the rear end. Just want to keep that in note because it's happened before. It's gotten thrown away. It's been put into a big opportunity. The only thing is, Burns 4-2 back, Vila 6-4 back. Nobody has been able to touch James Thurston.
Well, and you got to think about this too. With this being a 400-mile race, we're only about 10 laps away from halfway. So these guys have to think about that long-term strategy because this race is flying by.
Dominguez all the way to the outside wall. Behind him, the 26 machine, Giles. Looking top, looking bottom, McCandless back to the inside. That's back there in 10th. That's another wheel-to-wheel stalemate that continues to go ahead and work on. Going back there, Cottle back there, just out inside that top 15. You're Braden Muddick, you're back to 6. You're Wilkerson, you're back in 7th. The only thing is, Burns is now losing time to the 14.
Well, it's still top 5 within 1 second, so if Vila, Mosteller, or Kevin Champagne makes it past, they may have something for that 14.
Kevin Champagne back there. Looking, peeking, he's back in 5th. Mosteller to the inside, Vila to the inside. Kevin Champagne's able to rip that outside wall. And this is how he's won here before. He looks to do that exact same move to win here just one more time.
Well, and while this battle goes on, as he's underneath Daniel Mosteller, it looks like he's going to have the spot. Don't overlook it 9th. Blake McCandless has gone from the back all the way into the top 10, and he's starting to get high.
Kevin Champagne, since the start of this race, up 33 spots. We've definitely seen the movers so far tonight. Oh, Braden Muddick under fire from behind Jacob Wilkerson. That's another one we said to keep an eye on. That's the reason why I put him in my fast 4. He's going to be quick, and he knows how to get the victory lane. He hasn't done it yet, but he knows how to at least get there.
Yeah, that 43 and that 33, they're coming up almost in tandem together. And Wilkerson right behind Muddick. Kroenke back there trying to lane higher. He opens the door for McCandless for the moment.
Lined up down to the inside. Burns nearly half a second back. That's Thurston. Kind of just riding around. Vila, Champagne. Champagne's one on the move you want to keep an eye on. Muddick, Wilkerson, that was 2 back. It is closing in. There are the drivers on the move so far. Thurston, do you worry? That's the real question.
If you're Thurston, I don't see you worrying. I see you worrying if you're somebody like Vila, Champagne, Mosteller starting to fall back a little bit. So Thurston, about a half second ahead. He's in the capers.
Vila back to 3rd. Champagne back to 4th. Mosteller back there in 5th. Kroenke, McCandless, Dominguez, and Gary Owen runs out that top 11. Goins another one that's a big one on the move. Half a second back. Who's going to the outside? Kevin Champagne looking for a drive off.
But he's not going to get it this time by. He gets a little bit as the one scrapes the wall, but right now, up front, they're kind of keeping a single file.
Lines up and loaded. Vila back to the inside. Muddick back there in 6th, and he's got a convoy behind that we've never seen before. Wilkerson, McCandless, Kroenke, Dominguez, 8, 9, 10. Gary Owen back to 11th. The question is, where do you go? Right now, Owen's looking to the inside here of the Dominguez machine. Wheel to wheel, there's the battle for 6th through 1 and 2.
It looks like Muddick is holding up this entire pack all the way back to Goodell and Steinmeier in 13th, and he still keeps it in 6th. But now, Blake McCandless behind him.
That's the 43, back down to the inside. Wilkerson on the bottom, trying to line it up in that inside lane. Everyone else looking for a way around. That's the 57 as well. Alexander Kroenke back to the outside. That's Thurston, Burns, Vila, Champagne, fast 4. Blake McCandless find a way through. Yes, sir. He's up to 7th, but has to hold on to it. Mavic still stuck on that outside lane.
If he can clear this pass, he is the biggest mover in this race, up 34 spots from his 40th place starting spot. And side by side with Mavic, looking really racy.
That Skull Bandit machine, nonetheless, has worked his way up to 6th. Forget the Elite 8. Right now, he's all the way back down that inside. He's going to drive off corner exit trouble. Dominguez hard into the outside wall. He's able to hold on to it, but may lose a spot here to Cotto.
And
now
now
knows the tail.
Gary Owen up into 9th. He's coming into the picture. The 43 of Wilkerson underneath the 42. So you're starting to see who's getting stronger as we're almost at halfway.
6 the difference from Burns to Thurston. This is the mosh pit we continue to watch on with. McCandless, Mavic, Wilkerson is looking to clear. Not going to happen. Mavic's going to get the drive off corner exit.
Mavic's drive off, a little contact there. Now Gary Owen behind the 42. He has lane choice here. He stays with Mavic.
Yeah, we want to start looking at it again. We're getting in that time. Green flag pit stops. 1 caution so far this entire race. The only thing is, how do you pit if you're Burns versus Thurston? How do you pit when you're Vila versus Champagne? We've been watching this mosh pit nonetheless, but you got to figure out what you got to do from 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Well, how do you pit if you're somebody like Thornquist, Stone, Armstrong, Brower, someone in the back half of the top 20? How do you beat these guys? You can't do the same thing.
Gary Owen on the outside lane. Looking for a way around Jacob Wilkerson. Wilkerson back down on the bottom, lined up with Braden Mavic. Goen is going to go ahead and hold him down that inside lane. 77 the difference, and so far McCandless looks to scoot away.
All this happening 3.5 seconds behind the leader. Todrick on the bottom on the apron, but no caution. The 43 underneath the 5. It looks like Gary Owen's going to get the drive off.
Yeah, tough break there. Oh, he's going to catch the wall just for a little bit, but tough break for Todd. Having a great race going. May need a caution, have an opportunity. Cotto all over the 5, back down to the 1 and 2. You're the 33, you're McCandless, you're scooting away. You're Vila, you're 1 second back. All the way down to the inside, the 43 looks to hold on to it. Going a handful down off corner exit.
The 43 had one too. Now, Gary Owen in 8th has to try and get past Mavic. Mavic in 7th, holding these guys back. You can tell he's slower than all these guys by how bunched up they are. Now, it's just a matter of where the 5 finds an opening.
135 out of 267. Schmidt back to 14th. Thornquist back to 16th. Stone back to 17th. Joyner, Jeffrey, Schmeeker, Greenwood, all running outside that opportunity for a win. How about Champagne? He found his way around Vila.
Yep, up into the 3rd spot. Trophy hunting. And he's putting himself in position to try and get that trophy.
Gary Owen down to the inside. Wants to thank Eric W. for giving the 10 memberships down in the chat below. Another long green flag run. Thurston's been able to stay ahead of everybody on every single sector. The question now is, who plays the strategy a certain way to find a way around the top 4?
Well, it means even more now because we still can see this race go green. And on top of that, we're past halfway. Only about 132 to go, 131. So there is a lot at play for this next stop. Looks like Mavic slow. The 2 gets by, and the 43 and the 2 get together.
Man, he just gave him a shot to the rear end bumper, and now Cotto's going to try to squeeze him down to the inside. Mavic a slice to the rear end of the 43. Dominguez has to hold on and watch on as Gary Owen up to 7th. Mavic a slide into the grass. He still holds on to 1.
But he's in free fall right now from the top 5, fighting for the lead to possibly out of the top 10. Yes, out of the top 10 now.
Wow.
In the wall.
Yeah, last thing he needs to do is have another issue. Saw at Fairgrounds that wreck didn't really help him out. Got Dominguez on the outside. Spencer Burns, 9-2 the difference. Another drive that needed a great run. McCandless in 6th. Mosteller to 5th. Abraham Vila up to 4th. If you're Kevin Champagne, you've worked your way to 3rd. The question is now, can you find a way around Burns and bring it to James Thurston?
Well, and this happening a second behind Thurston. But he's getting that run off, slowly making up time on the 06.
Gary Owen 7th, Cottle 8th, Wilkerson 9th, Dominguez 10th, Mavic, Steinmeier, Schmidt top 14. We may not see that 79 do something great to the last half of this race. 139 out of 267, top 2 still back under a second.
And it looks like the 94 and the 1, they're starting to make up ground, especially Kevin Champagne, looking for that 2nd spot.
Yeah, he's all over the rear end of that 4. I don't know if he's going to be able to find a way through. Let's go back to what's really going on back there in 7th. Cottle back to 8th. Wilkerson back to 9th. Him and Mubbick, remember, they got into him. They now single filed out. Everybody getting ready for one thing. Green flag stops, maybe not. Kevin Champagne battle for second.
And they're side by side, the 94 inches ahead. Tied almost at the line, but Champagne having the edge.
I'm telling you, James Thurston, last thing you wanted to see was a Champagne. Can Kevin clear? He can. Burns maybe with a rally to the bottom. Won't happen. Kevin Champagne, a driver here to trophy hunt, has now got missile lock on the driver in front. Oh, by the way, he's already closing in.
Well, and now again, you got the Burger Wars. The 14 and Burger King, 94 and 1 with McDonald's. Up high, a lane above where the others are running. Champagne trying to run away.
Looking, peeking, 1-3 the difference. Burns is still all over him. Vila right to the rear, and how about a shot to the rear of the 94? Looking to get him out of the groove. Won't happen just yet. All three drivers still under a blanket down off corner exit.
Vila's there, though, side by side with Burns. Has the edge as well. Burns starting to fall off.
Vila to the inside. Is that the third spot that he wants? Looking, it very much is.
He has it. Exiting for the 14, 94 and 1. These are your fast three cars, and they are really showing it.
The Canlis to 6, Connell back to 8th, all lined in. 1-3 the difference. 142 out of 267. Everybody looking to rally to Thurston, but you got to keep an eye on what's going on outside that Sweet 16. A lot of these drivers have single filed out. This is where your make or break comes coming to pit road.
It does, and we're probably about 10 to 15 away, maybe 20 away if you can stretch it, from green flag stops again. We've seen it before tonight, how big a difference it makes, and we've seen who can make up time.
Kevin Champagne, 1-2 the difference. Vila, 1-6-9 the difference. Burns, Mosteller, Cotto, and Wilkerson all up inside that top 10. If you're James Thurston, you're loving it. One thing you don't like, lap traffic, and it's dead in front of them.
Yes, but what you're seeing on the interval a lot is Thurston gets in easier where Champagne attacks the corner, and Thurston gets off, pulls an extra tenth on him each time. So there's a difference in driving styles, and maybe that's what's getting Thurston ahead.
Mosteller back to 5th, McCandless to 6th. You got to give it for Gary Owen. I mean, he was outside this top 16 for so long, and then all of a sudden just rallied his way back up to 7th. He's got a lot of machines behind him that want to find a way through. Nonetheless, though, it continues to go ahead and work well with that machine running on the blue line.
But Blake McCandless, he has basically kept it even with Thurston without having him as a reference either. So that 33 car, maybe another caution, maybe good pit strategy, he's a threat to win.
1-4-7 the difference. When do you come to pit road? Dominguez under fire. That's going to be Braden Movick right behind. 10, 11, top 10 and 11 all lined up, back nose to tail. You can see Wilkerson dead in front. That's back wheel to wheel.
It is, and wheel to wheel, Dominguez gets the edge off the corner. Contact between the 88 and the 42.
Yeah, he's going to slide wide. Nonetheless, you can see Movick kind of frustrated, trying to find his way back through. He's to the bottom. He's to the point. Can he clear? That's what he's looking for. Not too fast. Dominguez still runs around the quarter panel.
But he's clear. 42 of Movick back into the top 10. Kroenke trying to enter this battle with them.
Well, that went on. Champagne has closed the gap back to a 111. See him lined up there. Thurston able to find his way around lap traffic. Gary Owen behind still. Dominguez hard in the wall. Big slam with the right side, and Movick's able to scoot away.
But still not broke yet. He's trying to get back to the 42. Behind him, though, looking like Kroenke's having the position.
Yeah, he wants that opportunity back to 12. Schmidt back to 13. Max Steinmeier back up inside that top 14 spot. That's Movick to the bottom. Movick to the point. Movick looking for another opportunity to get back to 9th. That's Wilkerson behind. Nose to tail. They continue to switch up. He's a good finish for a championship hunt.
We'll look right at the back of this group. That's Schmidt. He was basically fighting to stay on the lead lap, fight for his race. Now, making his way back up through the pack.
Dominguez 11th, Kroenke in 12th, Schmidt, Giles, Steinmeier up to 15th. Dominguez collecting the outside wall again. Kroenke looking back to the outside as they're back wheel to wheel. 1 second the difference now. Kevin Champagne, he's closing on in.
Yep, and right now, Thurston looking for Armstrong as the next lap car. Just lap Blue Jimmy and TCB. And the battle, I think, is between who can stay in the bottom the best, the 94 or the 14.
It's going to be interesting to see. You see Schmidt back to 12. You see Wilkerson back to 10th. Cottle back up inside that top 8 slot. McCandless to 9th. Going back there in 7th. Kind of back in no man's land, but he's going to have a battle here soon. That's going to be the 2 machine. Lined up behind. Cottle on the move. Needs a career best finish here.
Well, and he's keeping it right behind the 5, taking it about maybe a half lane higher, trying to get the run dead even for the interval between corners.
Interesting to see nonetheless. James Thurston getting ready to put Joseph Armstrong a lap down. Joe, the driver with an opportunity, sitting what, 3rd in points?
He was 16 back coming into the night. Now, maybe top 20, though we're not completely sure. That's probably what, a 40-point, 30-point swing? This might kick him out of the championship hunt.
That's big right there. Needs a good opportunity. How about Mosteller to the inside? That's Spencer Burns. He's got trouble. I think he cut the outside wall very slow down the back.
Well, and you're watching, too, when this happens, Gary Owen, Cadell, they're coming up on him, and Demos and Blake McCandless starting to come closer together.
Blake is there, closes into Mosteller. Mosteller back to 4th. He's closing in on Vila. He needs to close that gap to Thurston as much as he can, because if this is a win in the books for the 14, you're the 9. You got to salvage something here, because Talladega is going to get wild if these guys are this close in points.
Well, Blake McCandless, he has closed in by almost a second now on Thurston. He's faster than the leader.
Yeah, he's showing back to that outside. We talk about these trophy hunters looking for an opportunity. I think we got one coming to pit road. That's Spencer Burns.
Is he coming for the strategy, or is he coming for the damage?
I don't know. That's a big lock over the right front. Only time will tell. Working lap 152 and 267. Thurston underneath Joe. Contact. More of it.
Well, because the 20's fighting for his life. Oh, wow. They're really hitting each other.
They're hitting each other back and forth, man. I don't think Joe wants to go a lap down at all. This allows Champagne to close it. We got a dogfight for the lead.
And there's more contact out of 4.
Joe's got to hold on to that spot. He can't go a lap down. He's slugging them all the way back down the front stretch.
Is there something between them, or is it just not going?
I don't know, but
down?
Kevin's going to make a run on the outside. This is a 3-wide move that can work. Joe gets thrown wide. Still the 14 downstairs. Kevin Champagne rockets to the lead in one hot night.
He pushes Joe out in front. The 94 takes the lead. 3 wide through the middle. Can he make it work?
It was calm, and just like that, it's amped up. Thurston's gonna bail. Coming to pit road, we got one. Sideways, Kevin Champagne and Joe still wheel to wheel back to the line.
Joe staying right beside him. Struggled all night. This is the first time we talked about him all night, but he's gonna go a lap down.
Yeah, nonetheless, see Kevin's trying to go ahead and clear right here. Kevin Champagne got to the lead right when he needed to. Armstrong looking for a way around, top, bottom, making it difficult for the 94. And he knows he has to go ahead and stay on the lead lap. That's what it's about. But Thurston coming to pit road. That's our second green flag stop of the night.
Gary Owen also on pit road too, so green flag stops have started.
And Vila's in, Cottle is in, all these guys in. Blake McCandless back to 3rd. Mosteller looking forward. And now you can add Kevin Champagne to the list of drivers that have led. Vila is in. Cottle is in as well. Everyone getting excited about this one as McCandless all over the back end of the 9.
All over him, now all underneath him. The 33, the Skull Bandit, past the Coke car.
Yeah, he got him nonetheless. I think Demo's able to get a drive off. I think he wants to find pit road here soon. Blue Jimmy Bonetto going one down as drivers look to find their way on pit road. Kevin Champagne leads at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
2.5-second gap in front of this battle, but now the 33 pulling away from the 3rd.
We may have a big update here. I hate to cut you off, but I think Thurston may have just gotten a speeding penalty. If that is true, we talked about it before. You can lead the most laps. It may mean nothing. He came down pit road earlier. I think that's him coming through for the drive-through.
And this changes everything, because now the battle between Kevin Champagne and him settled. Now it's Kevin Champagne versus those guys up front that were battling for it. Demos down pit road, Mubbick there. McCandless might be on pit road as well.
Twice this season, you've seen the drivers that have led the most laps in a race have pit road mistakes that costed him. Well, still too early to tell, but if he doesn't go to victory lane, that will cost him the victory.
110 laps to go, long way to go, but making that up under green, impossible, I think.
That's going to be tough to see. Schminker back to 9th, Mubbick back to 7th. Champagne, McCandless, Stone, Giles all the way back up to 10th. all lined in. You got the 06 lined up on the bottom. Gonna get that drive back down off corner exit. You still look, Joey Stone was on your provisional lead. It's still McCandless. Everyone finding a different groove under green flag cycle.
Well, it's hard to make some kind of strategy based off of making the run longer because you still have at least one more pit stop. Though, if you think tires are enough of a difference, you could do a two-stop strategy from here.
Here's another one, and I wouldn't be surprised when we saw it. Spencer Burns speeding on pit road as well. That's two machines. Green flag runs change races more than you think. That's why you look forward to them. And just like that, Burns is behind the 8-ball.
Well, now this hands the race to Kevin Champagne to be in control of. He has about 2.5 seconds on Blake McCandless, and from there, it's anyone's race.
This is the battle for 9th. Connell to the bottom, Dominguez to the outside. McCandless is in, Kevin Champagne looks to pit here soon. Pinetto in as well, working lap 160 out of 267. Kevin Champagne's got to be loving it.
Well, and Armstrong is the first car lap down. He's just hoping for a caution. Change this race, get him back on the lead lap, keep him in the top 5 because at this rate, the race is kind of over for him.
Dominguez down the back stretch. That's still Wilkerson as well. Nose to tail, Stone, Cootie, Zach Tondra back out on the racing surface. Dominguez on the outside continues to fade, as now that's going to be the 43 of Wilkerson, finding his way through. If you're Kevin Champagne, when do you come to pit road?
I think you come as soon as possible. Maybe you try and trap everyone a lap down, but we've seen tonight, these cautions aren't flying like usual.
Joseph Armstrong kind of just waiting in the wake for something to work out for him. Gary Owen lined up back there in 11th, kind of just riding around. You got a big herd of machines behind. McCandless all the way down on the apron.
Well, now only 3. Oh, contact between Burns and Mubbick, but only 3 on the lead lap as we run.
Yeah, he almost right reared him, and that's equivalent to getting hit by a pitch on purpose in baseball. You go ahead and right rear someone. The end of the day, still riding back nose to tail. That's Chevy in 4 with our Chevrolet down low.
McCandless, though, trying to make up the ground on Mubbick. Mubbick gets a run off and clears him. Newbigging looking low.
All looking for an opportunity. Wilkerson 7th, Dominguez back to 8th, Gary Owen back to 9th. One caution this entire race, and it's still Douglas Newbigging on the inside. Wheel-to-wheel McCandless. Stone 9 seconds back. Todd looking for a way through. You can see Joey Stone kind of just riding around.
Now 2 on the lead lap. 10-second gap between them. Smreaker in 3rd. Armstrong, he still has to pit. Vila might be the leader when all is said and done.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes down. Dominguez back to 8th, Mubbick back to 12th. David Joyner, Alexander Kroenke, Tanhart 17th, Schmidt 18th, Greenwood, Cootie all lined in. There's your race leader on pit road. Then Joseph Armstrong will follow as well. Kevin Champagne is in. Joey Stone looking to lead a lap and get that extra bonus point.
And he did. He is in the lead now. Joey Stone may end up being the last car to pit again. How long he can keep it out there on a tank of fuel is going to be really important for the way this ends.
Well, that's going to be 2 green flag stops nonetheless. What's going on up front? Gary Owen, Daniel Mosteller, both looking back wheel to wheel. Demos down on the inside. This is battle for position. This is for 9th. As Mosteller looks to kind of rally back. Big sigh of fresh air for him because Thurston made a big mistake.
But the gap now for the lead, 21 seconds. Smreaker, I think, would have to pit too. So Vila and Cadell up there fighting with the 1. That would be your battle for the provisional lead.
Spencer Burns kind of riding around, just 1 lap down, a speeding penalty for him. Vila, 20 seconds of difference. Joey Stone obviously has to come to pit road at some point during this race. Brower kind of in the same boat from what it looks like. Tinsley's on pit road still. Going back there with the 9, lined up 165 out of 267.
I just gotta say, it feels weird not seeing that 14 on the scoring ticker. Not even in the top 20, lap down. The race is completely changed.
Brower is in. This means Vila will go to provisional race lead. The only thing is, Kevin Champagne, he's back there in 16th. Keep an eye on that. Abraham Vila may look for a way through, and that goes to 33. Down to the inside, Blake McCandless looking for a way around. That's James Thurston, a lap machine around him. McCandless to the inside, up inside the top 10.
His nose is ahead now. It looks like Mubbick trying to follow. Thurston up high, a lap down. just trying to make up time on all these guys.
That's exactly what he needs to do. Mavic's still back there at 9. 3 wide was looking. Stone finally surrenders the lead, and he's going to come to pit road, which means Abraham Vila will be your race leader. This is a new battle for the lead. Cottle, Vila top 2, Schmeeker back to 3rd.
Wilkerson and Dominguez follow, and only about 2/10, maybe a quarter second between the 1 and the 2.
This is the battle for the top spot. Next time by, just 100 to go. You want to know how long we've been streaming up to this point? 2 hours and 7 minutes to change. We'll go ahead and give you that as well. This race has flown by, and it is unbelievable to see. We still got a battle for the lead.
This is a 400-mile race that might be done in well under 3 hours. This shows the blistering pace these guys have been putting under. And now, Cadell trying to put a blistering pace underneath Vila.
Well, now let's look at this. When do you pit if we go green? 100 to go, you got to pit one more time. The thing is, undercut or overcut, because we've seen it before. Look at this. Vila's your race leader. If this was that final stop and Champagne stayed out way too long, Vila can win this race just by closing the laps out.
Oh,
Armstrong's around.
No caution though. He's in the turf.
I don't think he hit anyone else as well. This looks to be a single car spin, and it goes from bad to worse for the Interstate Batteries 20 machine.
This is bad to nightmare for him in his championship efforts.
Yeah, he's all the way back there. A lot of damage to the right side.
The night basically is over for the 20. He had the opportunity to try and stay in the lead lap, but at this point he's got to be, what, 2-3 laps down?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, he's going to need a handful of cautions to have a shot at winning this one. Kevin Champagne under Steinmeier.
And he's got it. Clears and quick.
Easy in, easy out. Right now the fastest car on track. He does have the fresher tires as well. 14 and James Thurston. Lined up, needing a yellow to have a shot at victory. Mubbock to 9th, Mosteller to 5th. Where things are running right now, as long as this race ends right here, this is how the race can end for a championship as we go to 2nd.
The battle for the lucky dog is between Brower and Thurston. About maybe a second or two between them. The 12 and the 14, that's the fight. If the 14 gets by and the caution comes out, he's back in the race.
15 the difference between the top 2. Cotto closing in on Vila. They're all lined up back to that inside lane. But how about Jacob Wilkerson? I'm saying it, don't count out my picks on the Fast 4, because he's up to 3rd.
You might say that, but my pick for the win is in the lead at the moment, and he's been pretty fast. But yeah, Wilkerson been making up time through the night, and now almost half a second back.
Cottle is there looking. Mosteller 2 seconds back. 3 drivers under a blanket. How fitting would it be for your first win to be on an e-ticket? Schmidt did it back. Oh, well, let me say he didn't. That was his first e-ticket win, but he has won at that track before. That was for the Ford 400. Wilkerson hasn't won at all. He's come close. He's in the top 3. I guarantee that 43 wants to see one thing. You know what that is? Stay green, because he can play a strategy possibly better than the top 2.
Well, he's made up 2/10 there, less than half a second behind the leader, the 43 car.
Cottle's still looking to the outside, inside as well. That's the shovel that continues. Wilkerson kind of just riding right back in the middle, parks it all the way back down, kind of on the inside lane. If you're Cottle, you come so close to winning so many times, might as well take it here.
And he's looking low, stays behind him. What line is going to choose? He goes a little bit higher than the 1, tries to dime in the corner, but stays up a little.
Vila lined up on the inside. Wilkerson lined up behind for the difference. Lap 174 at 267, and Cottle is not going to go ahead and give the 1 any breathing room. Vila forced to drive it in deep.
Now the 2 takes a little lower, exits higher, a 10th between them, making it up more. He stays on.
Yeah, he's still on them, and once again, we're at the closing laps of this race. This is when you want to be tuning in. This is when you want to be watching. This is going to get dicey right here. Top 3 under a blanket. Got Gary Owen back to 5th. McCandless back to 6th. Dominguez back to 7th. They don't have a shot. This race goes green. You got to watch on this top 3.
Yes, you do. And now they're pulling up on the 8 car. Another lap car. Dale Greenwood, the 1 of Vila, right behind him. They lap to origin. Now pulling away a little bit from the 2. The 2 gets back.
Going to be a lot of fun to see how this one rounds out. It's still Greenwood on the bottom. It's Vila on the outside lane. Cottle is kind of just locked in on that outside lane. Mosteller to 4th, going to 5th. McCandless back there in 6th. 175 out of 267. Back to the line. It's still Abraham Vila.
But now Wilkerson less than 4/10 back. He has it hooked up down low. Pulling up, now loses a bit to him, but still keeping contact with the 2 leaders.
We continue to watch on as we're in the closing laps of this race. Center Night in America, fueling victories all year long. If you're loving the action, let your friends know, because it's going to come down to this. Wilkerson is now close into a 4-2. He is gaining on that top 2. Vila having to slam the brakes. Here comes Connell, looking to the outside.
Looking, but can't make a run yet. Stays behind the 1. Same line. Now Wilkerson right behind the 2.
Gonna be a lot of fun to see how this works on through. McCandless having days back to 5th. Mullet back to 9th. Connell still 10 the difference. Looking for an opportunity. Wilkerson, how about him? 3 the difference as they work their way through 3 and 4.
Well, if they don't make this battle up and finish it and get where they need to be, they may be joined by that 33. Blake McCandless has been the fastest car on track. He's making up time on Demos, who's making up time on the top 3. So we may have a 5 or 6 car battle before you know it.
Gonna be a lot of fun to see how this goes down. Dogfight for the lead within the top 3. That now goes Connell looking at the bottom. He went chasing to find a way through Vila. He does! For the time being, everyone back on their feet through 3 and 4.
And he's gonna clear him off 4. The 2 to the lead. Only 3/10 between the top 3.
The deuce says see ya as they work their way back through 1 and 2, but Vila wants it back. Wilkerson wants it back as well. They're all back down in that inside lane. Looking for daylight, looking for speed. McCandless may be behind, but it's the top 3 down off turn 2.
Cadell starting to pull away. Only 2/10, a little less now. Vila pulling back up on it.
Everyone working their way through. Connell, Wilkerson, Vila top 3. That's 4, that's Chevy on Chevy. Everyone has spread on out. And oh, by the way, we still have to pit one more time.
Well, Blake McCandless, he's coming with Demos right with him. And Kevin Champagne has entered the battle. You see him back there on the high side, right behind the 9. Now, Wilkerson pulling up behind Vila. Vila 2/10 back, Wilkerson right with them, staying the same line, maybe a little bit lower as they exit.
Gonna continue to watch this on as they all work their way off corner exit to the difference. Looking for an opportunity, back to the line. Connell, Vila, Wilkerson top 3. McCandless has been able to scrape around some time, and we're gonna get ready to try this again. Before you know it, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with it. Let's go ahead and turn it up. We're coming down to it, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the great Charlotte Motor Speedway as we get ready to try it again. Connell, your race leader. Vila back there in second. You got Wilkerson back in third. Working lap 185 at 267. You still got Kevin Champagne, Lionel McCandless. Oh, by the way, they're on the way.
Yeah, Kevin Champagne has made it past McCandless. They're now under 2 seconds, but Champagne flying up towards the 3 leaders.
Yeah, he's closing in nonetheless as we get down to the end of this race. Vila has parked it down near that blue line. Connell back there in first still. It's still 19 the difference. Wilkerson in third. Champagne back to fourth. McCandless, Mosteller line up the top six. Movitt, Gary Owen working lap 186 at 267.
Wilkerson losing touch with these top two. The battle, Cadell, the Blue Deuce, and the McDonald's car in the one. But now, look at Champagne coming up on him.
Well, remember, he does have the fresher tires compared to these guys, and if he's going to go ahead and get the 3-for-1 special, he's definitely able to get it towards the closing laps of this race. McCandless back to fifth. Mosteller back to sixth. He's closed in as well. All rallying around to catch your race leader. Vila still within a 16. Do we see the bump and run?
Champagne less than 8/10 back. Now he's right with Wilkerson, putting on all the pressure. And now Vila trying to keep up with the two.
19 back. Wilkerson still 6'5". Now he's under fire. That looks to be the 94. Right back to the rear end. Champagne wants one goal, one opportunity to go to victory lane. He's lined up back down to the inside, back to the inside again as he works his way below the STP 43. Kevin Champagne rocketing his way into the top three.
And he's got the spot cleared him now, almost a half second now behind the 1 and the 2, and he's gonna be in this battle in the next lap or two.
Vila 2-1 back. Champagne half a second back. McCandless 1 second back. 5 drivers under a second now as they work their way through 3 and 4. One caution this entire race. How do you play it out from here on out? You work your way back off 4. It's Ford, Chevy, Ford. Top 3 back to the line. 189 working 267.
For those of you just joining us, James Thurston had dominated the night, was the car to beat, sped on pit road under green flag pit stops. Now a lap down, out of it. Cadell, Vila, and Champagne, they're the guys fighting for your lead.
Still looking for the opportunity. Vila, 12 back, needs to slam the door on Champagne. He's there. Back to 3 drivers under a blanket for the lead. Connell's got to make it wide, coming down off corner exit.
McCandless now past Wilkerson for 4th, but the battle up front, less than 2/10 between these 3. Champagne looks high.
Hey, he's got him right here. Nonetheless, he's able to get the drive to the center. Should get 1, maybe 2. Gets 1, not. Looks to the bottom. That goes the 1 Machino Vila, trying to slam the door. Champagne still looking for second.
Looking for second. He might look for the lead out of 4. Now side by side, gets the run off. 94 car to second, he clears him.
He's got him right here, working lap 191. Connell's got to stuck it, or stick it, should we say, into the bottom, but he's in a jam. That's the 94 downstairs. Kevin Champagne just rocking into the lead from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Can the Deuce get a drive? He cannot. 10 the difference. New race leader down the back.
Now Vila looks underneath Cadell for second. Down low, the 1 car gets the run. Now Cadell trying to keep up with him. Kevin Champagne scoots away.
The question is, when do you want to come to pit road? When do you want to go ahead and make your stop? You saw how track position worked out early. Kevin Champagne just met the destination. The only thing is, we're getting ready to come back down pit road another time. What do you do if you're the 1 and the 2 if this goes green all the way through?
If you extend the run as long as you can on fuel, you should be able to pit within the next 5 laps. Contact between the 1 and the 2, though.
Vila downstairs, Connell on the track. Looking to clear, back to the quarter panel. He's gonna go through the turf.
And he still manages to keep second. No Cadell there. And they're losing traction when it comes to the lead.
Losing time as well. McCandless, Wilkerson, they've got the edge. They're looking forward. Abraham Vila's gonna park it in front of the Deuce as Kevin Champagne's gonna walk away. 193 out of 267. Best case scenario for the 94. Only thing is, if they pit, you better come in right after.
Yeah, 7/10 between first and second. They clear it up for now, but that school car, that STP car, they're there. The Blue Deuce up high, trying to protect the 3rd spot.
McCandless for Champagne working lap traffic. That's the Andrew Cootie machine. All the way back to the outside. You're Jacob Wilkerson. You're Blake McCandless. How do you find your way around the top 2 in front of you to give the drive to the 94? Pull the tires off? Not happening. Pit stops coming soon.
Very soon, but Wilkerson trying to put pressure on McCandless. He's trying to put pressure on Cadell, and just ahead of them, Vila.
Vila still lined up with the 4 behind. Cottle up here to 3rd. As McCandless, Wilkerson, Mosteller have all lined up and loaded. Here's the difference. Vila was 7-6 back. He's 8-2 now. He's fading to your race leader. So is the Deuce. But McCandless has got speed down the back.
Almost a full second between first and second. This battle all for the second spot. McCandless looking to make up room on the 2. Not making up too much, though, off 4.
I'd say you pit with, what, 50 laps to go? Maybe that's the best opportunity, maybe even earlier, depending on how much you trust the track position. Vila on the outside, Cottle on the bottom. Vila's able to park it in front of the Ford once again, all lined in down off corner exit.
Well, the fuel window is starting to open up. They can make it at most 70 laps is what we've seen.
Kroenke now dropping back. Some machines looking to pit road already. Kevin Champagne a 1 second lead. Behind, they've all lined in. McCandless still looking for an opportunity. Peaking low once again. Is he able to get it? He is! Wheel to wheel, that's the battle for third.
Has a nose now on Cadell. Cadell gets past, but now bringing it back on the 33.
Cottle on the outside, needing a drive off corner exit. Looks top, stays top. Will it work? It does. He's still lined in with Wilkerson. Wilkerson's going to stick with the 2. McCandless to the bottom. Can he hold on to it? It's still 3 drivers under a blanket off 4.
McCandless is clear the battle now for 4th. Wilkerson right ahead of Cadell. He's going to clear him down the front.
And now he's going to swipe that back bumper. Top, bottom, looking back to the inside. You're still Blake McCandless. You're up to 3rd. You're Abraham Vila. You're fading from your race leader. Working lap 198 out of 267. Time's running out.
And we see fading back. Demo sitting in 6th. Still best of the championship, guys. Great day for the 9.
Gary Owen to 7th. Mosteller back there in 9th. Andrew Cooney coming to pit road. No worry about it. We ride on board here with McCandless.
Well, look at Schmidt. He's in 8th right now. Really fast car. He gets a caution. He might be back in this thing.
That's what you ought to watch out for as well. How much can you make a move without affecting the aerodynamics of that car at all? Your Tanhart, you're 15th. Your Brower, you're 16th. Your Max Steinmeier, you're back to the 13th spot. David Joyner, Joey Stone, Alexander Dominguez, William Schmidt, Gary Owen, Mosteller back up to 6th. 119 the difference, and it's still Abraham Vila trying to find a way to close in on Kevin Champagne.
And McCandless stalking him, only 2 tenths back from him. Wilkerson on his bumper. Cadell right up to 43.
He's still looking for that opportunity. See Kroenke back to the 18th spot. Cottle back there in the 5th. All lined in, nose to tail. The thing is, pit road has got to be opening up soon. You're in the window to pit just one more time.
Yeah, 65 laps is when I know these guys are sure. So the next 2 laps, pit road could be wide open. 1-3 the lead. Kevin Champagne is pulling away.
Yeah, pulling away big time. The only thing is undercut, overcut. What's the game plan if you're the 94? You got the track position, but you know these guys are going to try to pull something out of the bag. Your McCandless, you're still back there in 3rd. Your Wilkerson, you're still back in 4th. Your Gary Owen, you're still back there in 7th. They've all rallied their way back through 3 and 4, but nonetheless, it's Kevin Champagne by a country mile out in front as they work their way back to the start-finish line.
Vila keeping pace ahead of McCandless, though. About 1.5 ahead of him, and McCandless can't look now ahead too much because Wilkerson's there.
Tanhart on the bottom, going 1 down. This will be his. He'll be the lucky dog if we do get the yellow. Maybe not. He's going to try to fight as much as he can. Kevin Champagne will just storm his way away, and it's still Wilkerson looking under McCandless. Not happening back through 3.
A full second and a half. That's how far back this battle is from the lead.
Cottle is there, still looking at the bottom. Not happening whatsoever. Looks back to the outside. We're starting to see track position starting to mean something as the tires start wearing again. 1.5 the difference. You said 65 laps, you're good to go. Some of these guys, an undercut, maybe coming soon. 2 in the wall.
Still, they keep going. Yeah, 60 laps. That's about the easiest you can go. That's when you're 100% sure. So I expect pit road to open at some point for someone trying to take a chance.
Yeah, nonetheless, you want to say, if you're Kevin Champagne, you're going to wait as long as you can, but the only thing is, let's say Vila, McCandless, Wilkerson, Cottle, they all undercut you. They're going to fight you for every position that you try to find a way around them. That's still Tanhart on that inside lane. That's still Abraham Vila on the outside lane. They're back wheel to wheel again. This time Vila gets the thundering roar off corner exit. 1.37 the difference for the driver in first.
Well, and outside of this battle, outside of Mosteller, about a second and a half back from them, they pulled away from the rest of the field because you go 3-4 back to Mosteller, then almost 10 seconds back to Gary Owen and Schmidt.
Jacob Wilkerson had to catch the wheel. Tanhart down below is making it a little bit difficult. It's Goen, it's Schmidt, it's Newbigging, it's Dominguez back to 10th. It's still Gary Owen looking for a shot back down off corner exit. Connell back there in the 2 is back to 5th. Mosteller is back there in 6th. Abraham Vila, 1-5 back. You're going to need to have the best pit stop known to man. But here's the thing, the driver that led the most laps made a pit road error. You could see it out of Kevin Champagne.
Yeah, speeding has changed this race for more than just a couple drivers. The reason Champagne is up front is partly due to a speeding penalty from the 14. Now Vila pulling away from McCandless, the 1 car firmly in second.
Yeah, we're working 60 laps to go in this one, so it's about time you find pit road or at least get the strategy for it. Cottle right to the inside there of Wilkerson, rolling that wheel to wheel, that battle for position, maybe winding up before that ditch effort down the pit road.
But Wilkerson gets the run off. The 2 and the 43, though, side by side. Dead even at the line. Cadell getting the edge as they enter 1.
Wheel to wheel, 4 downstairs, Chevy on the outside. McCandless, 1-9 the difference. He's back there to 3rd. Vila, 1-6 the difference. Still lined up in 2nd. Who's on the move? You look behind. Mosteller has now joined the reins back there in 6th. Opportunity striking late here for the driver of the 9.
Still a second back to them, though. A second back to Mosteller from the 43. We look back now at Blake McCandless starting to run down Abraham Vila again.
Lined up, back nose to tail. McCandless is there, back there in 3rd. Connell is there, back there in 4th. They've all still lined in, but nearly 2 seconds the difference. Kevin Champagne needs something to work. You got hard wall.
That's Steinmeier, the 23.
It looks to be also a lot down. A lot of damage to that right side. The question is, can he get down? Oh, we still haven't seen him. I don't know if he got into anyone else. That's a broken suspension for sure. We don't see anyone else he may have hit. The question is, can he get down to the inside? Admin's watching. No one has thrown the yellow.
He's
Now
gonna get
finds
down.
an opening. Yeah, we've had incidents. We've only had 1 yellow. Look at that suspension. That's done.
Yep. A solid night for the 23 comes to an abrupt end. Up front, though, lead stayed about the same, 1-7 for Champagne to Vila.
Kevin Champagne on a roll. When do you come to pit road? They're coming behind. So Steinmeier is in. More machines also looking down in as well. Vila, 1-7 the difference. McCandless, 2 seconds the difference. Cottle, 2:17 back. Wilkerson, 2-3 back. Mosteller, Schmidt, going all up inside the top 8. That's another one on the wall, and that's the 06.
Burns almost made contact, but the 43 gets by.
2 seconds, nearly the difference. And if you're Abraham Vila, how do you make this work out on your last strategy of the night?
It's wide open now. At any point, they
You're
can
in
come
the
down
window.
the road. Yeah, they're well in the window.
The only thing is, I'm starting to think, hey, your Vila, calculate when Champagne caught you on speed, right? That what, 50, 55 laps? You want to beat that again. Because you want to be there by the time you get to the last lap. So Champagne has to run his fastest to get to you and stuff to get through everyone else that's fighting.
Well, and if these guys that are, running 8, 9, 10, 11, around that range, why not pit now and try and make up some time? Maybe those fresh tires, if they stay out longer, get back on the lead lap, caution comes out, and then you can cycle ahead.
1.95 the difference. McCandless, 2.28 the difference. Connell, 2.4. Looking back to the outside, no deuce just yet. Wilkerson back there in 5th. Mosteller back there in 6th. William Schmidt back there in 7th. Gary Owen back there in 8th. Still Dominguez looking for a top 10. Coming to pit road, Thurston is in. Driver back in 17th is in as well. Greenwood, here they come.
Vila and Cadell.
Don't speed, big lockup out of the 1.
The 2 looked a little quick too. He got away earlier. So this is the money stop. At this point, we stay green. This is it.
That's going to be interesting to see. You got Cottle back there in 2nd. You got the 1. Abraham Vilas looking for his first win of the season. You see the machines down the backstretch rolling as well. Right side's going up. Well, you're for Kevin Champagne. When do you come to pit road now?
I think at this point, you come to pit road as soon as possible because you're starting to see more pitting. Right in the
Everyone's
back,
pitting. They're all
McCandless,
undercutting.
Wilkerson, Demos, all in the pits. So if you're Champagne, you're going to give up a ton of time the longer you stay out.
The thing is, he just needs to leave that last lap. The question is, do you do it by an undercut or an overcut? Undercut worked out earlier. This is a third green flag stop of the night.
We are seeing it again, though. Guys who stayed out longer before, like Gary Owen, Dominguez, Stone, now Champagne, staying out again, trying to play a strategy move.
I don't know, man. If you're this 94, I'd say you come to pit road now. You know you're faster than these guys. Now you already got like, what, 2-3 laps fresher tires? I don't know, man. I don't... It's going to be close because it took about 50 laps to catch him. If he goes all the way to the end of his cycle, it's going to be tough.
Dominguez is in.
Keep watching on. A lot of these guys playing this strategy. I'm telling you, Abraham Vila, you may have just gotten your golden ticket. One problem, McCandless is going to be right there on fresher tires.
And he's there, and look who's ahead of him, Cadell. Cadell is ahead.
Wow. Oh, boy.
Here we go.
Oh, boy. It's just one of those nights. Now it's what works. What strategy? What lap? It's going to be interesting. Vila down to the inside.
Staying fast down low at the moment.
They've still got Cottle going through lap machines. As it comes down to it, nonetheless. The deuce. Vila back around the outside again. Going to second. Stone to third. Steinmeier coming back to pit road. I'm telling you, time's a ticking. I'm just saying, this could be the battle for the win.
Well, yeah, Vila is there. Now Gary Owen down pit road. 3 drivers staying out, trying to extend this run.
I don't know, man. I'm just telling you. I'm going to continue to say if you're Kevin Champagne, hit. I'm just saying that's the way to victory right now.
It really is. And you also might be thinking from Kevin's point of view, he has been the fastest on these medium runs. So maybe he's thinking, I can give it up. I'll have the fresher tires, can pass him back later.
McCandless underneath lap machines as well, and Vila is there. This could very easily be the battle for the lead when they all cycle on through. Champagne finally coming to pit road. Your Giles, your Stone. Do you stay out for a caution?
Yes. At this point, you have nothing to lose. You're not going to win by pitting with the rest of them. Stay out. Hope you get some good luck.
Vila's got to be smart right here. I mean, when he's finding his way around the deuce, I mean, you don't want to go ahead and make a mistake. The question is, where will they be in relation to Kevin Champagne? Champagne, 18 seconds. We got one.
Oh, Burns!
On the outside lane. Who did he make contact with?
Oh, they got past Champagne also. They passed Champagne.
Right sides, we haven't seen them. No one was trigger happy. Not a single admin was trigger happy tonight.
Champagne was passed by Cadell, by Vila, McCandless, Spreaker. He's going to have to make up a lot of ground.
Yeah, here we go. Now he has to get it back done in under 50 laps. That's the big thing. So we do stay green.
2 seconds. That's the gap he has.
Vila to third. McCandless back to fourth. Once again, another spin, but we let the strategy play out. Now if you're Joey Stone, what do you do?
Stay out. As long as you can, stay out. That's his only shot at maybe not winning this thing, but maybe getting a top 10 tonight.
47 laps to go. That's what it's coming down to. Vila, Cottle. If I'm Vila right now, and I know I'm faster than that 2 machine, you know what I'm doing? I'm saving tires. I'm riding right behind him because I know that this race may not come down between this Ford. It's going to come down between the other Ford back there in fifth. The only thing is, McCandless, what is he going to do? He's going to lay down. He's not laying down. He's going to fight him all the way through. The only thing is, Champagne's already back up the fourth with the fresh tires. Gonna be close.
It is, and Wilkerson has fallen away from this battle, so at this point out, it's going to be between the 2, 1, 33, and 94. 4-car fight for the win in the last, 45 laps?
Yeah, so it's going to come down to, the only thing is Blake's showing a lot of speed. They go wheel to wheel. That's just going to go ahead and add fuel to the fire for the 94.
Blake has that early run speed. Kevin has that medium to long run speed. We're going to have about a medium run here. Maybe, 48 or so laps? A bit longer, but not a full fuel run to the end.
2 seconds the difference between fourth and the leader. The only problem is he's got to get through the 1, the 33, and the 2, who are all going for the win. McCandless came from the back to the front to try to get it done.
He looks
to the bottom.
Vila looking to block. That's going to be wheel to wheel.
He's there entering one. The Skull Bandit up to second, looking for more right behind the Blue Deuce.
Cotto's going to have to go ahead and make it wide. The only thing is, you still got to think long term because he's on the move. Kevin Champagne closes in. The Deuce versus McCandless. McCandless to the bottom. McCandless looking for the lead through 3 and 4.
And over all of this, Joey Stone still staying out. He's playing it, but now McCandless goes to provisional lead.
Fighting left and right, back to the start-finish line. Chevy, Ford, Chevy. Stone, your leader, maybe for now. McCandless gets the point. The Deuce drops back to what looks to be the provisional third spot. Vila to second, what it looks like. Your Champagne, what's the move here? 1/7 the difference. McCandless has got speed. It's going to come down between that 94 and that 33.
What's the move? Run for the hills. Run as fast as you can because that 94 car is coming.
Back to the line.
Joey's in.
And this is what it comes down to. Final 4 drivers. Jarrett, we had 1 caution during this race. No stages, obviously, because we don't do that. And we have 4 drivers with a shot winning with less than 40 to go.
You may say 4. There's 2 I'm looking at. The leader and the 4th place guy. Kevin Champagne is making up about a 10th or so here, a 10th there. He's making up ground. McCandless trying to run away from the 1 and the 2 car.
Greenwood, big hit to the outside. Not a single viewer watching on wants to see a caution. Why? They want to see this roll green. McCandless looking for an opportunity.
Is that true? Braden Muffick may have been speeding on pit road.
And that's it.
That is huge for the championship. Armstrong with problems tonight. Muffick with problems tonight. Bigging further behind the 9 car. This has been a great night, even if he doesn't win, for Daniel Mostello.
Yeah, he's looking for another top 10 nonetheless. Joe really just riding around McCandless. Vila, Cottle back there with Champagne. That's the fast 4. Vila still looks to close on in. Joey Stone with the fresher tires. He gets a yellow here and gets around your leaders. He is going to stay out if he gets a restart. The only thing is, 1/6 the difference now for Champagne. He is closing in and he's finding his way around the minefield.
He is, and he's getting through these lap cars quick. Armstrong out of the way, not a factor. Now 1/6 still the gap, even with the lap cars. But McCandless, 3/10 ahead of Vila, and they're running away from Cadell and Champagne.
1.35 the difference. Looking 1.34 the difference. Actually back to a 3.7. Another lap machine. Max Steinmeier lined up in front of the McCandless machine. Mosteller back to 6th. New Bigging back to 7th. William Schmidt rallied back there in the 8th position.
I don't know about you, I think Joey Stone with the fresher tires, he can either get the lucky dog or get his lap back, so a relatively good finish for him tonight. But you're looking at the gap, it's widening between the 1 and the 2.
30 laps to go in one hot night. Vila, 37 still back. Champagne, 1-4 back. He is there on Cottle. He's got to find a way around. Got to find a way around now.
2.5 now from the lead as well. The big picture is there as well as this one.
Got to find a way now. Looks top. Gonna try to take the long way around the Deuce.
Not going to work this time, but he's going to pull at least right up to his bumper. Cadell trying to keep him back, looking low as they enter 1.
It's gonna be tight. Slams the foot, slams the door. We're gonna say the front door there in a moment. Cottle looking to block. Vila went way
He's
wide.
there.
Here he comes back down to the inside.
Kevin Champagne looking low, has the 3rd spot, cleared him. Next up, the 1 of Abraham Vila.
Time's running out, 25 to go on McCandless. I may have a smirk on my face because he's still got to find a way around that 1 machine. And Joey Stone, who is on fresher tires. If he stays out in front of that 33, it's going to go ahead and be a very interesting standpoint.
Well, the gap between 1st and 2nd has stayed about the same, but Kevin Champagne is coming. He was a 2.5 back about 2 or 3 laps ago. Now, 1.15.
This is going to get close. Your McCandless, you have to make it wide. Your Vila, you have to make it wide as well. He needs this run, a great run for a championship nonetheless. Everyone working their way back to the line. Blake McCandless, 231 out of 267. Wilkerson back there in 5th. Mosteller back there in 6th. Douglas New Bigging back in 7th. Everyone shuffles their way back to 1 and 2.
Less than 9/10 between the top 3. Cadell not going to be a factor. They're running away from him. But Kevin Champagne closing in quick on those 2 leaders.
Abraham Vila's parked it down the inside. Joey Stone
Lines up and loaded. Stone looking in the bottom once again, not gonna happen. Vila second, Champagne third, Cottle back to fourth. The only thing is, Vila has closed on in on Blake McCandless.
And I might have spoke too soon because Cadell is closing in too. Top four coming back together like a rubber band.
Stone finding his way around.
He needs to get his lap back before Kevin gets there. That's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, they're going to pedal it nonetheless. These four drivers still have got a big shot. Cottle's gaining. Vila's gaining. Champagne is gaining. 4 under a blanket, 233 out of 267.
And Joey's going to get himself back on the lead lap, but he might be the biggest nightmare for Blake McCandless because holding up just enough gives Kevin Champagne the opportunity to look low on Abraham Vila.
He's got him. He's there. They're back on their feet. How do you make the move? Just like that, through 3 and 4. Vila doesn't want him to clear. Hanks on the corner panel to the center of the corner.
3 cars under a blanket, exiting off the corner to the stripe. McCandless only a tenth over Champagne.
Looking peaky. Now you got to block him on every end of this speedway. Kevin goes high. McCandless goes low. Vila to the bottom. If McCandless slams the door shut, the run will go the way of the one. 3 drivers down the backstretch.
And Cadell is pulling up behind him too. Kevin makes the move. Down into 3, down low. Blake trying to pit him.
Yeah, he's going to get that run off corner exit. I don't think Champagne's giving it again. They got to pedal. Got to hold on to it. Back to the line. 235. Kevin Champagne just out in front. McCandless squeezing him. Here comes Vila around the outside.
They keep it even. Now Blake trying to get the run built up off the corner. Right at the corner panel. Is he going to clear in? Yes, he does.
Try a crossover. Last ditch effort down through 3. This was going to come down to lap machines involved. Kevin Champagne clear. See ya. Goodbye. This race goes green. It's going to be all his. Here comes Vila. Cottle. That may be the battle for second. What a run for the McDonald's Ford.
Blake trying to stay caught up behind him. Now making up about a half a tenth again. He's there. Not giving up. But now Kevin gets about another tenth in the corner.
Well,
this may be Kevin Champagne's race. Already 2 tenths or plus that away from McCandless. McCandless under fire from the one of Vila. Vila having Cadell fill up his mirror.
McCandless 3-4 back. Vila back there in third, all the way up near the outside wall. The Deuce back there in fourth. Lined up, nose to tail. 7 back. But right now, Kevin Champagne, he's going to walk his own way.
Yeah, he's running away with it as we approach here. 30 to go. He is running away with it and up high. Vila tried to get past McCandless, still filling up his back.
Kevin Champagne has not won a race at all. He's a trophy hunter, a part-time driver. Now looking for his first eTicket event win. McCandless lined up and loaded. That's with Abraham Vila, working lap 238 out of 267.
And second through fourth under a blanket now as well. The 2 picking up ground on the 1. The 1 trying down low on the 33. That's the gap. That's it.
He's going to look for every opportunity on this racetrack. Wilkerson back to 5th. Mosteller back to 6th. Schmidt back to 7th. Dubiggy back to 8th. Still Blake McCandless under fire. Vila looking right back to the rear end of him.
Vila doing his best to make it a 1-2 sweep for the McDonald's cars. Picking up ground on McCandless. McCandless is handling and car going away as the run goes away. Vila now right in his tire tracks. Cadell underneath him.
He's going to look for that opportunity. Cottle underneath Vila. Vila the drive off corner exit. Still watching on. Still looking on back through 3 and 4.
The 1 trying to find a way around McCandless, but he keeps it parked on the bottom. This all happening 2/3 a second behind the 94.
Vila still looking for a way through. Not going to happen. Laps fading away. You're McCandless here in second. You're Vila. You're back to third. 3 drivers under a blanket. Vila needs points. Cottle needs points. McCandless, another part-timer. Coming off corner exit. Working lap 240 out of 267.
Now they're entering lap traffic. This will be a big piece as well. The 1 looks high, right over the 33. He's going to try and get a run behind the 29.
Trying to get the drive off corner exit. Lane Sanders parking in front of the 1. 3 wide, Cottle down on the inside. All holding on, contact again through 1.
That opened the door and the 2 managed to get by. The 1 keeping his nose there. He's going to keep it side by side off the corner.
Canlis has got to hold on. The only thing is, Vila's going to get that drive back down off corner exit. 3 drivers under a blanket. Still looking for that second position.
And the 2 getting a run right on the bottom behind the 33, side by side, dead even. The 2 gets a bit of a run in front, but now the 1 gets right ahead of him.
Owen back to 8, Joyner back to 9, Dominguez back there in 10th. Make Blake McCandless still nearly 1 second back to Kevin Champagne. New biggie. Owen, Joyner, Dominguez, all up inside that top 10. Now that's another machine in the wall. That's Abraham Vila.
And that's going to settle the battle for third. Now Cadell looking to try and get past McCandless. Trying down low, right in his tire track's not going to work. That's Andrew Cootie up top, gets out of the way.
242 out of 267, and Cottle is still right to that rear end. He's going to be looking on all ends of this speedway to get something done. Right back to the outside, 25 to go.
He's right there. The 2, not even maybe, 3 feet behind the 33. That's the gap. You're seeing it there. He gets the run down the back.
McCandless, 8.6 the difference. Cottle, 1 second the difference. Vila, 1.35 back. Wilkerson at one point looked to have an opportunity to win this one. Won't happen. 24 to go from Charlotte.
He's there. Cadell right behind McCandless. He dives down low. The blue deuce is going to have the door slammed on him, though.
Yeah, so got to go ahead and cross that bow and hold on to it.
He's there. He got him. He's down low. A block.
That's going to be close. That's
down
down
to the line.
Wow.
And the 2 is he's gonna move him. He's gonna move him.
Cottle on the inside, McCandless on the outside. Still the drive back down off corner exit. We've seen them bump all night long. And with 23 to go, this is a dogfight for second.
And the 2 has the position down low. He's gonna pull a little bit, but McCandless gets the run up top. Now Cadell gets the run on the bottom. Still side by side.
Starting to see Vila looking for a way around, making the 2 for 1 here. He's looking 3 wide. Wasn't going to go for it.
And these 2 are racing harder than we've seen anyone race all night against each other. Cottle now is just ahead. Can't clear him.
Nah, Blake's still going to stay right on that quarter pound. It's going to be tough for him to find a way through. You can see McCandless doing a great job just inching his way forward. Back down into 1 and 2. McCandless on the outside, so Cottle down low. That middle wheel, it's not going anywhere.
He might, nope, he doesn't have him this time. Almost did. But McCandless gets the run. They go down to the bottom, right to the line again.
Cottle wanting to clear. McCandless on the outside lane. Wheel to wheel back to the line. Chevy versus Toyota. Chevy versus Ford.
He's got him.
And he got him. See ya. The deuce into second, 21 to go.
Is there anything now that he can do with Champagne? Can he run him down? Is the handling finally starting to get to this 2 car or not?
Yeah, that's the big thing. You're going green all the way through. This is it. You see a caution, that's going to go ahead and blow everybody's mind.
Cottle just made up a 10. He's made up a 10 through that corner alone.
And we will continue to keep an eye on that. It's back to a 2-7. Kevin Champagne, lap traffic ahead. Oh, James Thurston, he led the majority of this race.
Cottle has made up 2 tenths in the last lap.
I think he saved tires while those guys went at it.
So is Kevin Champagne saving tires maybe?
No, I don't think so. He definitely walked away. Wait for an opportunity. We're continuing to watch down off corner exit. Still 119 back for the deuce. McCandless 1-7 back. Vila 1-9 back. 1-2 is about even. The only thing is, Champagne's going to have to deal with the lap traffic of James Thurston.
Cottle now running away from McCandless and Vila. They're fighting for third, but completely out of it for the fight for the win. Now, these 2, the 94 and the 2, they're the ones dueling for the win.
119 the difference. Kevin Champagne closing in on the 14. Your race leader, who was also your race leader at one point. That's the 14 right in front of him. 19 laps to go. Blake McCandless might also be under fire again, but Cottle's kind of closing back in. 114, 112, 110.
He's starting to make it a race. It's not over, because if he makes up a 10th a lap, he will easily have enough speed to get there. Lap car lets him by. Thurston lets the 94 by. Now Cadell has to get by him.
Kevin Champagne forcing the 14 all the way up the track, able to find his way through, not the corner he wanted. The deuce will make up time here. Back down to 11, maybe a 10, maybe kick off an 8, back through 3 and 4.
And he's over a full second ahead of the 33 and third, so He is going for the win, going as fast as he can, making up just a little bit more time, pulling up to that 14.
18 to go, 17 to go. How about your championship leader, Daniel Mosteller, in a zip code of his own, but closing in on Wilkerson. That will be the battle for 5th. 1-4-1, the difference now. Cottle's close in under a second. 17 to go. I thought we were going to wrap this up with a Champagne win. Not so fast. The Deuce has found speed here late.
I think this has just been made into a race. He is now less than 9/10 back. Champagne, he's losing his lead.
He dropped back to save tires, so when Champagne got up to them, he fought and fought and fought every single corner to make something work. The only thing is, if you're Cottle, you're there. You're down to an 8.5. You're down to an 8.4 looking. 16 laps to go back down the backstretch.
There's plenty of time left to make up time, and he is doing so. Less than 9/10 now, a little more. Easing it into the corner, getting a better exit though, less than 8/10.
Who thought a one caution race could be this entertaining? Oh, by the way, it is. Well, 7.5 the difference. 7.3 the difference. 15 to go. He was faster on every sector that last lap. Champagne's got a brace.
And he's flying. Champagne, I don't know what Champagne can do except just guard the bottom. That's what's been working for Cadell. But Cadell now is at 7/10. A little over now, getting that entrance back. But watch, he'll get the exit.
McCandless under fire. That's Abraham Vila. Back around the outside, looking at that quarter panel. McCandless gets the drive off. No doubt about it. Cottle is the fastest driver on track. He turned the fastest time out of anyone. 7.3 the difference. 7.4. Losing entry. All speed off exit. See Champagne struggling down off exit, no doubt about it.
Well, they've run away from the rest of them. 4 seconds back is third. There's no one else except these two who are going to be fighting for the win tonight.
Vila, McCandless. McCandless down to the bottom. Able to hold it right in front of that one machine. We got a race coming to 13 to go. This is not over, ladies and gentlemen. Not by a long shot to the 500 watching live. This is what one hot night comes down to. Kevin Champagne on the blue line. Cottle on the blue line. Who gains off corner exit? He goes back to the deuce. 13 to go, and they're 3 wide in front of him.
But his gains have been a bit smaller now. Oh, side by side, 3 wide, almost a caution, 29 in the wall.
Yeah, he's going to come right back down the track. Him and Burns have all lined up nose to tail. Let this stay green so we can watch this fight out. 12 laps to go this time by through 1.
Well, that time they were about even on their laps. A little bit of a gain from the 2, but Champagne's starting to turn it on a little more.
Yeah, he's got something working out. Nonetheless, you can see Champagne wanted to get something to work down off corner exit. Cottle's still gaining in, but time's running out. And it's running out big time. You can see Champagne starting to go ahead and add a little more gas to that to get away from the 2 machine. The only thing is, he's still there. That's Kroenke down through the grass. No doubt about it, 11 to go.
And now closing on 6/10. Still a race though. The 2 closing in while they get on to lap traffic.
6-4 the difference. Cottle coming down off corner exit. He has never won an eTicket event. Should have probably won the Ford 400. Late race caution comes out, threw it away. This was going to change everything because Champagne right now 6-6 the difference. He's going to have lap traffic in front of him. That's Burns. That also looks to, if I'm not mistaken, Alexander Kroenke. 10 laps to go. This isn't over.
Well, Champagne's getting him on entrance. He is aggressive on the entrance. But watch, Cadell from the middle off, center off. He's gaining a ton of ground. Now the lap traffic in it.
Yeah, now he's down to half a second. It's go time right now. 9 laps to go this time by. It's still not over. Every virtual fan in the crowd is on their feet as they work their way back down off 4. 9 to go this time. The gap back to a 5.8.
Burns, though, gets out of the way. Now 5 seconds back to the rest of the field. These 2 are in a league of their own. Cadell, 6/10, gets the runoff, though.
He's trying something to go ahead and close back in. It's going to be one of those classic NR Night in America finishes, one of those classic eTicket event finishes, because it's still 5-3 the gap. He's closing. He's there. Champagne still can't find something to work.
He's making up about half a tenth or so a lap, give or take. And what that's doing, well, it'll put them right next to each other coming to the last lap.
Devin Schmeeker, a lap machine, looking for a way around. He got caught a little bit loose when he went around the outside of him. You can see Champagne, no corner entry, no corner exit off speed. No, I think he got exit this time. Half a second now.
Now, a little bit, the 32 was there. I don't know if he had to hiccup it or not, but a half a second. He gives up, like, if you watch, the 2 gives up about a 10, but gains even more of it off.
4.8 the difference. Down to a 4.7. 7 laps to go in one hot night. The question is, who's going to win it? 2 drivers under a blanket.
And they're entering a ton of lap traffic here. Less than half a second between them. Less than 4.5 between them. 4/10 is about the lead.
Yeah, it's still 4-3 back. Got to continue to watch onto it. Blake McCandless under fire from Vila. Never mind, we'll watch it later. Another lap machine coming up. If he's within a 3, he can make the dive on in. The only thing is, he's got to get there. Now it's 6 to go, and now time's running out. You got it or you don't. Heading back to 1.
He's less than 4/10 now. He is there. He's making up the ground. Kroenke up high. Going to be a difficult one to lap for Champagne. 3.9 the difference as they exit.
6 laps to go, 1 caution race, and now it's going to come down between the best 2. Ford on Ford, that through 3 and 4. Champagne the dive to the white line. Connell the dive to the white line. 4 back, 3 back, maybe looking 2 back here soon, coming to 5 to go.
3.5 the difference. Cadell still has the run underneath the lap car. Gonna hurt the entrance a little as the 13 in the wall.
Yeah, he's looking for something. He's looking for something big. You can see the Deuce are going to ride on with them. 3-5 back. How bad do you want to win an e-ticket event? Panetto may make it difficult for Champagne.
Less than 3/10 is the lead now.
Everyone back on their feet. They know what they're watching. They know it's amazing. Kevin Champagne, 3 the difference. He was the man to beat here late. Coming down to 4 laps to go. It's the Blue Ovals getting ready for a dogfight.
Pretty even there, but now about a quarter second, now 3/10. That's the difference with 4 laps to go. The 2, 3-5 back. Now can he get the exit?
Cotto looking to walk it off, but the only thing is he's still 3-4 back. He needs to get under a 2 for a shot. Needs to get under a 1 maybe for a shot. Champagne is fighting this car. He's up half a click. He's looking to get the drive off. Nonetheless, back to a 3-7.
Champagne may have found something because he's starting to slowly get the lead a little bit bigger. It's over 3/10 the entire front straightaway.
3 to go, coming to 2. Kevin Champagne, drive on entry, looks clean. The question is, will he have a mistake off exit? He doesn't get the speed down off 2. Connell's able to close in. He is, but time is running out.
A third of a second in about 2 laps. That's all that the 2 has left to make up this ground. And Champagne, another strong run through 3 and 4.
2 to go from Charlotte, USA. This is one hot night. White flag coming out this time by. Next lap machine, Dale Greenwood, Ford on Ford. 1 mistake out of both these machines may solidify first or second. They're back to 1 and 2.
The 2 trying to get the run, but now it's nothing. Nothing is really being gained down the backstretch. Champagne pulling Cadell away now.
Final time through 3 and 4 before we get the command. Lap machine in front may dump dirty air on the grill. Here we go. Santa Blanca. 1 to go from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Champagne losing time right across the line.
3/10 a second. Lap car gets out of the way. Cadell dives down low. Now a quarter of a second back.
How desperate are you going to get if you're the Ford? 2-9 back. He's in the range for a prayer. Champagne down the backstretch for the final time. Is it going to be a first e-ticket event won by Kevin Champagne through 3 and 4 for the final time? Connell way too far back, and Kevin Champagne's going to get it done in one hot night.
What a race.
Connell second, McCandless back to 3rd. Where did Abraham Vila go? That's the real question. Back there at 6, he's in the wall. A lot of damage for the 1.
But brings it home. 6th position. Daniel Mosteller, another top 5. What a great night for him.
Well, that was a quick race.
That was very quick. 1 caution all night. 1 caution. Dubé in 7th, Gary Owen in 8th, Schmidt in 9th, and 10th, Giles.
And we say it with this track, you just never know what's going to happen. And for an e-ticket event, that just set a record for the least amount of cautions in an e-ticket event. And at the same time, we got a new winner. Kevin Champagne finally adds the Champagne name on the top of the sim racing world. Wins race 5 in the NR Cup Series.
I'd like to add that I picked the correct champagne, bro. I just want to add that right now.
I don't know what you're doing, Justin. Come on, man. Pop the bottles one more time. And now, it's the final burnout of this season on my channel.
Yep.
We bring it to you.
To Talladega.
To Talladega, race number 6.
2 weeks from tonight.
We're going to be on the Icebergs channel. And it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Ladies and gentlemen, what a night we have had nonetheless. 11 o'clock on the East Coast, 10 o'clock Central. And we get ready to talk to your race winner, Connell McCandless. What a run there for him. Ford, Chevrolet, top 3. Chevrolet rounds out the Fast 4, Jacob Wilkerson. What a night for him.
Just solid all-around driving by this field. No one doing anything really too dumb. 1 caution on the night. Just great racing all around.
If you enjoyed this, make sure you go ahead and drop a like and subscribe for the more great racing action that is to come as we get ready to go ahead and talk to your champ, not your champ, well, might as well say champ. You won an e-ticket event. Kevin Champagne, this is one of his best tracks. We already knew that heading in. Nonetheless, able to get it done. Let's go hear what he's got to say. Lines up and loaded. We may have to go ahead and talk with his brother. Actually, we don't see Champagne. He usually doesn't join in on the Discord, so we may have to go ahead and talk to others before the night goes on. Justin, get your brother on the mic. Got to go ahead and talk to the winner before we go ahead and call it a close. Quick recap through this race.
I'd say the quick recap on this one is strategy and fast pace. There was not a ton of crashes. A lot of times we'll see where there's a big string of cautions halfway through the race, but not this one. This one instead, you saw guys racing clean, racing hard. You saw a lot of great strategy, tire strategy. Remember we talked about the difference of when they would pit. So I gotta say, I really enjoyed just how clean of a race this was.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it was unbelievable to see how these guys are able to rally through. Ford on Ford, nonetheless, we're still looking to see if we can go ahead and talk to your winner before we go ahead and work our way over. We'll give him about a minute, but I'm surprised that we only had 1 caution. That was the big surprise to me. I thought we were going to have a lot of drama. We didn't really have a lot of drama. The admins were very gun-shy on cautions too, but in my opinion, I liked it. I mean, they let the race run on through, and sometimes you have races where there's a lot of wrecking, sometimes there's not. Sometimes the script flips. We're in Talladega next week, where we can see legit the quite opposite.
Yeah, and I think with this one, you know, 1 caution. We've had, I think, what was it, Atlanta, we had 4. So it's been very much a year of not too many cautions. The fairgrounds being the one difference in that. So just pretty clean year so far as well.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen drama nonetheless, but this is very legit of how everything went down. Kevin Champagne, we are going to be looking for a word from him. So far, he has not joined any of the chats, so we won't be able to talk to him, but nonetheless, fun night all the way through as we get ready to wrap this one out. NR Night in America fueling victories all year long. The quickest e-ticket event, if I'm not mistaken, quicker than the Ford 400 with just 1 caution. Jarrett, was a lot of fun. You got it right. You got the right Champagne.
Yep, we see all the picks right there. I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with that. My picks usually have not worked out for me so far this year. But like I said, really happy with how clean the race seemed to be. 1 caution. We were so close to a perfect night of no cautions.
That was crazy. Absolutely unbelievable. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Champagne has won an e-ticket event. He usually doesn't join in for interviews. It looks like this time we will not be able to go ahead and hear from him. We wish he had a mic. He's the unspoken warrior, should we say, whatever, however you want to call it. But nonetheless, fast night, fun night, and we carry it back to you right after this. My voice is absolutely, in my opinion, shot after what I had to do Thursday, Friday, Saturday at the fairgrounds. And rounding it back to here, I'm telling you, I want to point this out. It's like nothing changed. Everything just feels, from in person to here, it all feels the same. It's a lot of fun. Hey, next stream will be next Tuesday, as it is Good Friday, and I will not be here. But Jarrett, you now take control from race 6 to race 10.
Yeah, 2 weeks from tonight, Talladega Super Speedway. We're going to have it. It's mean, it's fast, it's frightening for some drivers, and it might just change somebody's season. So 2 weeks from now, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Tune into my channel, and tomorrow night, NASCAR Weekly Podcast on Danny V Talks channel.
Gonna be a lot of fun. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go ahead and sign out for now. You can watch back whenever you want. We'll be down in the Discord. We'll be talking to viewers as well, and you can watch back on this whenever you want. Have a great night, ladies and gentlemen, and that concludes race number 5.